demands far-left groups are making for Democrat Party leaders to put on a show of their opposition to President Trump.
Now, the president is considering permanently laying off thousands of those furloughed federal workers. Writing on Truth Social, Democrats have given him an unprecedented opportunity. The shutdown is also keeping us more in the dark on the economy, so we won't get updates on things like inflation and the job market. The report on September's hiring and unemployment was not released this morning, as had been planned. It is sentencing day for Sean Diddy Combs in federal court in New York City on 2 prostitution-related convictions from the hip-hop singer and producer's sex scandal. He has sent a letter to the judge who's considering the prosecution push for 11 years in prison.
With Combs offering an apology for, quote, hurt and pain he said he caused others. He also referred to the video of him assaulting ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura as images that play over and over in his mind. Combs called that and other instances of domestic violence a heavy burden he must carry. As for his sentencing, Combs asked for mercy for his and his children's sake.
Fox's Gernal Scott. It is a much different morning for another star singer.
And she said to me, hey.
Taylor Swift's Life of a Showgirl came out at midnight, so millions of her fans are streaming it or buying it in stores. It is Taylor Swift's 12th studio album. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's taking them out of their home. Skies are sunny, 63 in the Circle City, the high at 85. Sunny skies all day today and into the weekend. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:02. A fire breaking out early this morning at an apartment complex near Rockville Road and Lyndhurst Drive, displacing up to 16 residents and injuring 4. Wayne Township Fire Captain Eric Bannister.
Fire was controlled fairly quickly for the amount of fire that we had. There's probably 12 apartments in this one unit that were affected by the fire. Red Cross has been called to the scene.
2 adults and 2 children were hurt and 2 were hospitalized. What caused the blaze is under investigation. IMPD says officers shot a man wanted for unlawful possession of a firearm by a violent felon and robbery on Thursday. Police surrounded the garage of a home in a residential area on Indy's East Side at around 6 p.m. They gave verbal commands for the man to surrender, which he initially was doing, before police say he reached towards his waistband and then tried to run. That's when one officer used their taser and another fired their gun, hitting the suspect.
Our officers were out here doing exactly what we asked them to do. They were out here looking to apprehend people who are perpetrating violence within our community.
And that's IMPD Assistant Chief Michael Wally, who says the suspect was taken to a hospital in serious condition. No officers were injured. A man from New York is accused of leading Indiana State Police on a chase Thursday morning, which spanned across several northern Indiana counties. State Police identified the man as Daniel Ziti. At one point, they say he was going 120 miles per hour on the Indiana Toll Road. He was arrested for resisting law enforcement and reckless driving. Gas prices falling slightly as the week has gone on. Today, the average price in Indiana, $3.05 a gallon, says Gas Buddy. In Indianapolis, gas is $2.98 on average. Vice President of the Women's National Basketball Players Association Executive Committee, Nafisa Collier, who plays for the Minnesota Lynx, says WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert believes Caitlin Clark should be grateful to the league that she's able to make millions of dollars off the court. Collier didn't take that lightly, and Clark showed her some appreciation.
I have great respect for Fee, and I think she made a lot of very valid points. And
Clark spoke to the media Thursday. She called this the most important moment in the league's history. The Cubs are moving on to the National League Divisional Series after beating the Padres Thursday 3-1. They'll play the Brewers starting tomorrow. The Tigers and the Yankees also advanced over on the American League side. Traffic, Matt Bear.
All right, Jared, looking at westbound 70 at Tibbs crash. No delay there, so just watch out for it if you're going from downtown to the airport. And eastbound 70, that's a crash between Harding and West. Northbound 65, stop-and-go traffic from Raymond into the South Split because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and it's time to get ready for spooky season by getting rid of all that spooky dirt, grime, and mess. Halloween brings out the best in people, but it also brings out some pretty scary crud from all the foot traffic. So how about calling in the cleaning pros at Zerorez? This October, they've got an unbelievable deal. 3 rooms, 0 resified, starting at just $129, plus 15% off dryer vent and air duct cleaning. And speaking of air ducts and dryer vents, did you know October has Fire Prevention Week? The U.S. Fire Administration reports thousands of home fires start in clogged dryer vents every year. Let's not let spooky turn into smoky, folks. Whether it's carpets, tile, vents, or ducts, Zero Res makes it easy. No soap, no harsh chemicals, just clean that stays clean, thanks to their amazing ZR water. Now mention WIBC, get your 3 rooms cleaned starting at just $129 and take 15% off your vent cleaning while you're at it. Call 317-388-5141. Schedule online at ZeroResIndy.com. That's ZeroResIndy.com.
Up to 50% off and 2.99% financing, plus receive an additional $550 off your project.
Because at B Window,
we mean business. We mean business.
This hour powered by Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, your independent American Standard Air dealer.
Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Friday is going to be a nice sunny one to start with a few clouds in the afternoon and a hot temperature with highs in the upper 80s. A very slight chance, less than 20% of rain off northwest of Indy. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8, meteorologist Runner Sudis for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level on the go and on WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey starts now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
So, let me get this straight.
Okay.
We, the taxpayers of Indiana, spent $800,000 of our money.
Yes.
To be told, hey, we really shouldn't have conflicts of interest, and we should try to be more transparent.
That's correct.
Okay, I didn't miss anything. I read numerous articles about this topic, and that's what I keep seeing, and I thought I must be missing something, but you're saying, no, Rob, you're correct. We spent $800,000 for no one to be held to any sort of account. No one's going to be punished, and we should not have conflicts of interest, and we should be more transparent.
Yes, exactly. Common sense stuff. Carry on. So, you know, you did spend $800,000 to know a little bit more of what's going on.
How we got screwed? let me, because no one's right. So it's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. We're talking about this IEDC audit,
of course,
that came out yesterday.
Yes.
Indiana Economic Development Corporation. This shadow quasi-government entity. I mean, we say what it is here because we tell you who these people are. It's a glorified money laundering operation, and they have written the rules so they're allowed to get away with it, and they are the most connected people in the entire state of Indiana. Hundreds of millions of dollars this was just, by the way, the past couple of years. This doesn't even go, this goes for like 22 to 24.
Right.
This isn't even.
We're not even talking about the history of the organization.
Which is its own thing. The hundreds of millions of dollars, your hard-earned money, basically used to facilitate the lifestyles of, or the desired lifestyles of, and desired projects of the politicians and some of their uber powerful cronies. And we told you months ago that this was going to be a colossal waste of money, that no one was going to go down, because these people who would be the ones potentially going down are some of the most powerful, connected people in the entire state.
They're the ones who make the rules.
And if they went down, one, the cash spigot to the politicians would be cut off. And because so many of these politicians are so connected to these people,
they take them with them.
That could have potentially happened. Yes. And so we said, you might as well have just gone and put $800,000 on the Cubs-Padres game yesterday because you would have done as much good and had a 50-50 shot to make money for the state as you would have this audit. And it is exactly what we got. No criminal charges. No one's going to be held to any account, and nothing of any importance is going to change, Casey, because you know what? From almost all of these politicians, statewide, state legislature, you haven't heard boo out of them.
Right. Nobody has said anything about this audit, have they?
This audit,
isn't that telling,
is a colossal embarrassment for our state. Now, our lawmakers, they're shameless individuals, most of them. So I don't expect them to have shame about it or embarrassment about it. But you think about this. These lawmakers have taken money from you. You're out, fixing a road or you're on a roof or you're, cleaning a porta potty or whatever you're doing today to make humanity work. These lawmakers have taken money from you. They gave it to a shadow government entity that they knew people at best would struggle to get information from. And then they put their powerful buddies in charge of it, and their powerful buddies gave massive amounts of cash, one to fund ridiculous dollars in travel, so much of it to foreign countries for politicians and the connected. And they also delegated much of that money to projects that they were either directly benefiting from, in some cases indirectly benefiting from, or people they liked were benefiting from. That's where your money, not to fix the roads. Every year the gas tax goes up, doesn't get any better, not to do things that would have benefited all of us. They couldn't fund their budget without $1 billion in new taxes, but they had all this money, they being the IEDC, they being the Indiana General Assembly, the state legislature, the previous governor, who we're going to get into in a second.
Oh, boy.
And all of them, for the most part, were a part of voting affirmative, for these budgets that did this. And yet, basically, none of them have anything to say about it as of this morning.
The only thing Governor Braun has said is that, well, his office has said it did not contain any criminal findings.
And we told you, no one's going to go down for this. This is a colossal waste of money. And nothing. And the fact that there is not one lawmaker I've seen thus far who has issued. Now, if somebody has, and they can point me to them, if Houston and Bray have made some sort of definitive, this is the end of the IEDC as we know it, or blah, 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 you point it to me and I'll eat it on the air, right? I will gladly own it. But as of 9:06 this morning, I hadn't seen it, which means nothing's going to change of substance. Now, they'll put some window dressing on it. They'll tell you,
reforms.
Think about this. $800,000 to be told you shouldn't be voting on things if you have a conflict of interest, and we should tell the public where their money's going.
Right.
$800,000. And all of this crap that took place, and not one person's going to be held to any account on this.
Only one conflict was disclosed to the State Ethics Commission.
No,
one.
No, I want to talk about that in a second, but let's talk about that first, because then we'll get to Holcomb, because we've got to talk about Holcomb in all of this. The conflict of interest statute for, say, a municipal legislator is a very serious thing. Like, if you're a town councilman or a city councilman or a county commissioner, if you have even the potential to profit off of whatever thing you're voting on, you have to not only disclose it, but then you're supposed to recuse yourself from voting. There's an actual form you're supposed to fill out. And it is a felony if you don't do that. Or it can be a felony.
Correct.
If you don't do that. And in this case, there was a number they put on.
30 entities had potential conflicts. Only 4 were discussed in meetings, and only 1 was disclosed to the State Ethics Commission.
If a municipal legislator did what these people are alleged to have done, there's a good chance they would go to prison. And yet, and this is exactly like how we talk about Congress, because they write the rules to exempt themselves, and because the IEDC is its own thing, and they wrote the rules to make it whatever they want, they do it, allegedly, and nothing happens. No, not even screw going to prison. There's no fines. There's no recouping of monies. There's no you owe the taxpayers stuff back. There's no formal reprimand. There's nothing.
No, IEDC does not actively perform conflict checks. It's one thing they don't do that.
So, a town councilman does it. They potentially go to prison. They don't even check with the IEDC. And you really can't check because they hide the information from you. Unlike as someone who has filed a complaint with law enforcement before on an alleged conflict of interest or alleged potential conflict of interest, that happened out in Sunshine. I could see, now I had to do a little digging, but I could see what the alleged potential conflict was. I could see, it again took me some digging because they didn't totally reveal it, but I put the things together, and then I filed the complaint because it had to be done in an official government meeting by government rules, and you could see what was going on. And here, you can't even really do that because there's so many little subcommittees, and they don't. And this group doesn't meet in public, and this you don't know about this group. It is a giant jigsaw puzzle. That's the thing you realize from this audit. I mean, there's many things, but it is a deliberate jigsaw puzzle where they want to make it as hard as possible for people to put the pieces together, because once you put the pieces together, you realize how corrupt, unethical, and rotten this glorified money laundering operation actually is.
Yeah, and the hateful way that they have treated Hoosiers. Awful. Taking your money. It's your money, and they're taking this for their no-bid contracts, their international travel, for their select group of friends. Now, we've got to get into some of the key findings. We also have to talk about Eric Holcomb and his participation in all of this.
Yeah, and we'll spend a lot of our show today talking about this, because it's not just the thing, and we will do this when these sort of events occur. It's the event itself, which is the audit, but then the findings are so disgusting, and they touch on so many different areas of things we talk about on this show every single day. And clearly, Braun has stated he's not holding anyone accountable. So the only recourse that we have is to try to inform you of how gross and disgusting your government is, and what they funded and what they took your money to put into.
Correct.
Because public shaming at this point is the only recourse we have.
The only thing we have.
Seems to be a reoccurring theme, and we will be the people who are more than willing to do the public shaming. Let's shame Holcomb when we come back, shall we?
Yeah, it's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
America has a new favorite beer. It's Mick Ultra. If you remember, Modelo was the #1 beer in America. They're blaming Trump. The Trump administration's immigration policies have affected its sales.
Come on. At least Cracker Barrel came out and said, hey, we screwed up. We're going to go back to the way things were. Bud Light never did.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors, and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 in the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations. In the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35. West 86th Street and Michigan Road. And the second location in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Get there before the truck is gone.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swingco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swingco 317-407-1868 or swingcollc.com.
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve, plus complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
At Price Point Comfort, we're here to keep your home cozy and comfortable, and we'll always have your best interests at heart.
Just go to PricePointComfort.com. Price Point Comfort is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
You know, if you have ever researched mafia heads, like heads of mafia families, and you realize there's just a wide variety of people who have run mafia families over the years. And you realize there are some who certainly in the prime of their lives were obviously hyper engaged. They were aware of everything going on. They were calling all the shots. They were on top of everything, and nobody so much as blinked without the Don's permission. But then you realize some of these guys, certainly ones as they got older, lost the capacity to run the family. However, the power structure they represented was certainly not going to give that up. And as long as that person was alive, and at least in name was running the family, the behind the scenes, the goons, for lack of a better term, would remain the most powerful people in organized crime. And so everybody kind of knew, hey, the guy out walking in his pajamas or whatever, he's not calling the shots anymore. But as long as he's alive, right, in name only, whoever is behind that apparatus,
lieutenants,
yes, thank you, are going to remain at the tippy top and get all the favors and get the taste of all the action. And one of the things you realize in this, and I think I told this story on the air, when Eric Holcomb, the former governor, when his term was coming to an end, I had a conversation with a very connected person in the Holcomb administration. And they said, look, the reality on this guy was, and everybody knew from the moment he got in there, he didn't know his head from his ass. And he was appointed the governor of the state of Indiana. Eric Holcomb is the only guy in the history of our state who went from dead last in a U.S. Senate race to governor in the same year. Eric Holcomb is an incompetent buffoon. Everybody knew it then. They know it now. But what Eric Holcomb was, and everybody knew this, was a donor and lobbyist's best friend. Because Holcomb was interested in the idea of playing governor. He wanted the ribbon cuttings. He wanted the international travel. He didn't want to do the actual work of governor. And so this power structure, who strong-armed Mike Pence, who's speaking of people who don't know their heads from their ass, into appointing him lieutenant governor. So he went from dead last in a U.S. Senate race, dead out of money. His campaign was reduced to shooting baskets in all 92 counties, to being the most qualified person in the entire state to be the lieutenant governor, when magically the current lieutenant governor was the most qualified person in the entire state to lead Ivy Tech. Isn't it funny how that all worked out, Casey? And by the way, they had to get rid of her because she had straight up told Mike Pence, you've made your own bed, pal. I'm not going negative on John Gregg to try to save you from the stew that you've created. So Eric Holcomb becomes lieutenant governor, and by a stroke of sheer luck, Donald Trump, in a momentary lapse of sanity, maybe had a head injury that day, I don't know, felt that Mike Pence was the most qualified person to be the vice president of the United States, and wouldn't, of all the luck, the donor and lobbyist dream gets appointed to run for governor. A wet blanket, generic Republican could win the governor's race, as long as it wasn't Mike Pence. And Eric Holcomb becomes governor of the state of Indiana, has no idea what he's doing. He's never won elected office. He's never run anything of any substance. And now you have some puppet just nodding in agreement with whatever his bosses tell him. That is what this audit of the IEDC shows, clearer than ever before. Exactly what we've been telling you for years on this program. This guy is the worst thing this guy being Eric Holcomb is the worst thing that has ever happened to the state of Indiana. And like we already know about the COVID damage, the mask mandates, the shutting of businesses down, the massive expansions of government, and the horrible financial position that's put our state in. And now in this IEDC audit, you realize this guy wasn't overseeing anything.
Nope.
He was a total stooge and a puppet.
He was
and
playing ball with
he
them.
just wanted to go sit on camels in foreign countries.
I was waiting for the camel reference to happen. The question is, what economic development actually came from Governor Holcomb sitting on that camel? He was the first Indiana governor and only Midwest governor to attend COP27 in Egypt. He went there, right? And this was one of my favorite lines of the entire audit. FTI conducted a sample reconciliation of costs incurred per the general ledger of the 22 trip to Egypt for the COP27 conference in comparison to the provided budget. The budget accounted for approximately $900,000 in airfare costs, and the credit card expenses suggest actual airfare costs incurred for the trip were at least $200,000. So again, what specific economic development came out of Eric Holcomb sitting on a camel in Egypt?
And just for everybody who may not be aware, COP27 is the United Nations Climate Change Conference.
And Holcomb doesn't identify as a climate activist, right? So what was he doing there?
And I will ask this question, then we got to get to a break. We've spent hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars now, on quote-unquote economic development in the state of Indiana through the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. What have we gotten for the money? And if it's such a great deal, why have our taxes never been higher? Why do they go up every single year? If we have all this amazing investment that's coming into our state, and it's this, we're this economic engine that they want people to believe that we are, why can't we fund our state budget without raising taxes? Why does our gas tax go up every year? Why have our property taxes never been higher? If all of this stuff is so great and worked out so well, why is the amount that we are asked to pay rising every single year?
I think the one thing you have to consider is that Holcomb attended that conference to promote Indiana's economic development in green energy. However, there was just a report, I think it was 3 days ago, that said Indiana has only made modest gains with green energy. So the ROI is not there, kids.
Well, and it comes back to what have we been telling you? The Indiana Economic Development Corporation is a glorified money laundering scheme in which they take money from you, they give it to an entity that doesn't have to play by the same rules as everybody else, which then allows people to do things that at the very best would be highly questioned if they were using state funds, state money. But because they do it through the IEDC, in which there's this, and the IEDF, the foundation, which is now going away, because that was so, well, corrupt is a strong word, but I think it probably applies here. There's this giant soup where there's all this money that flows into it from all these different sources, and you can't figure out which one it is. And then they go, oh, no. This is private dollars that funded this trip. Of course, it's all breaking off of an entity that is funded by your tax money. And we will get into this a bunch more throughout the course of the program today. But if you take nothing else from this show today, you need to realize that everything I've been telling you about Eric Holcomb for the 9 years I've been on WIBC is true, in which he was a complete, dithering, clueless buffoon who had no interest in actually leading our state. He was interested in playing governor. And his reward for it is now he owns a massively sprawling property in North Brownsburg with the fabulous, essentially, mansion that he lives in. So he got out great. What do you own? Where are you at? What did this guy get? All right, let's take a break. When we come back, the fight across our state continues from citizens who are pushing back against these gargantuan solar and wind projects. And there is a big one front and center going on right now just outside of central Indiana. And whether you live where we're about to talk with somebody from this area and the fight that they're having, whether you live there or not, you need to pay attention to this because these things are coming to a community near you.
Jillian Gaston is going to join us next. It's 93 WIBC.
You probably have a dream retirement in mind, but do you know how to get there? The difference between dreaming and living your ideal retirement comes down to having the right plan. And that's where Howard Bailey Financial can help. At Howard Bailey Financial, we've created a free retirement toolkit to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Text DREAM to 888-262-1104 to download your free retirement toolkit that includes a retirement checklist, Social Security decisions guide, estate planning guide, and more. We want your dream retirement to be your reality. And it starts by texting DREAM to 888-262-1104. Let us help you take the next step toward the retirement of your dreams. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Protesting ICE and deploying the Guard. Sunny and 65 in Indianapolis. The high today, 86. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending now at 9:31. Another night of protest against ICE leads to violence outside the ICE facility in Portland, Oregon.
Things got pretty heated out here at the Portland ICE building last night. We witnessed a violent fistfight that left a man knocked out. We saw the burning of American flag, the macing of protesters, and multiple clashes with federal agents. The ICE director here in Portland told us Portland police are largely restricted by the mayor and city council from responding to the area around this building. She said it's like there's a bubble around this building and that it gets frustrating for them inside to have to watch attacks and assaults right out here on the street in front of the building, which is Portland police jurisdiction, but police never show up and respond.
Fox's Bill Malugan reporting. Activists say they are protesting unconstitutional ICE raids in their city days after the president said he intended to deploy the military in Portland. The Trump administration deploying the National Guard into Memphis this week as part of a nationwide effort to crack down on crime. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee telling Fox and Friends he's excited about this generational opportunity to make the city safe again.
It's really exciting to think that a city that has been held back by crime for so long, a great city that has a great future, but that's been held back for so long, is going to have the opportunity for Memphians have the opportunity to live safely again.
The DOJ announcing as of Thursday, the Memphis Safety Task Force has made 93 arrests and seized 28 illegal guns in a span of 72 hours. And Sean Diddy Combs will find out how long he'll be spending in prison later today after he was convicted on federal prostitution charges earlier this year. He could face more than 10 years in prison. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. Stocks, little change. The Dow's up 30 points, 46,519. The S&P 500 is up 3.7 points to 6,715. And the NASDAQ is up just over 19 points to 24,892. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Truck drivers, don't miss out on the unmatched consistency of a Schneider driving job. At Schneider, you can find a driving position that fits your lifestyle and goals, all while getting the pay you deserve. Plus, Schneider drivers operate state-of-the-art, well-maintained equipment and have access to award-winning benefits and a 24/7 support team. Explore Schneider's huge selection of driving jobs today and find your perfect fit at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Why do so many foundation, basement, and crawl space companies ask for half your money up front? Could it be because that's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they believe trust is earned, not demanded. That's why they do things differently. They start with a free inspection, no strings attached, to give you an honest assessment of what your home needs. No pressure, no surprises. When it's time for the work, they don't ask for a deposit or any upfront payment. Not a single dollar until the job is complete and you're 100% satisfied. That's how they've been earning trust for over 39 years. Whether it's sagging floors, moisture control, concrete repair, or a full crawl space encapsulation, you can count on Michaelis for repairs that last. Don't trust just anyone with your home. Choose the company that puts your trust first. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY today. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation, building trust beneath your feet.
The crops you grew last summer weren't enough to pay the loan. Couldn't buy the seed to plant this spring, and the farmer's bank foreclosed. Come old friend, shipment of jobs.
So one of the big debates across the state of Indiana remains the solar farms that are being proposed in large agriculture areas. And there's a big fight going on right now about just that in Putnam County. And look, regardless of where you live, you need to pay attention to this because these things, there's a good chance they're coming soon to a large farm field near you. It's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. Let's go to the WIBC hotline. We're joined by Jillian Gaston. She is a part of the group Putnam County Residents Against Solar. They've got a big solar farm proposed just outside of the town of Cloverdale. It has been rejected by their planning commission. But as we always tell you about these things, it's never over until it's over. They got a big affirm or deny meeting Monday night coming up with the Putnam County Commissioners. Jillian joins us now. Jillian, hello.
Hi.
All right, so tell our audience a little bit about why the residents of Putnam County, the greater Cloverdale area, are opposing this with such ferocity.
Yeah, so there are a vast number of reasons why this project is not good for us. Primarily this company, this energy company that's coming in is working with a single family in the town of Cloverdale. They're requesting to take over 2,600 acres of prime farmland that's currently zoned as A1 or agricultural protection land. So it's some of the most high-producing farmland in the nation. And they want to rezone this vast area that's actually larger than our town of Cloverdale to natural resources so that they can build this 300-megawatt
Hang on just a second, Jillian, because you said something that I think our audience needs to know. You're telling me this proposal is bigger than the actual town of Cloverdale itself?
Yes, correct. And it sits right next to homes. Primarily, my home will be surrounded on all four sides by these solar panels as far as the eye can see. So that's going to have detrimental impacts to not just our property values. This project will sit on the town's wellhead. And this company is not doing any studies. They're not even thinking about that. I mean, solar panels are made with all kinds of toxic materials. You've seen these stories hit the news where, when these are damaged, that material is going to leach into the ground. It's going to go right into our town's water system. It is right on top of our wellhead. We just can't have that. I mean, that's not just going to impact the local landowners here. It's going to impact the whole town and the safety of our community as well.
Jillian Gaston is our guest. She's with Putnam County Residents Against Solar. They've got a massive solar farm proposed just outside of the town of Cloverdale. They got a big meeting coming up Monday night with their county commissioners. And the reason we're touching on this is these things are happening everywhere. And Jillian, I was hoping you could kind of take our audience through a little bit about this process because you guys, the community, it sounds like, has overwhelmingly pushed back against this from the beginning. You've scored a negative recommendation at the Planning Commission, which is a good first step. But just talk a little bit about what a monumental task this has been to try to defeat this thing.
Yeah, so we found out about this proposed project over a year ago. The company started sending the neighbors that touch the proposed project area letters to inform them that this was going to be coming, trying to get us on board with their good neighbor agreements to sign our rights away.
Wait, so stop real quick on that because I think that's important. Tell us about these good neighbor agreements.
Yeah, so basically they wanted these adjoining property owners to come and sign agreements that would state that they would not hold the company liable for any damages and things, that this project could cause to them and the harm that they do. And by signing this good neighbor agreement, you would get this 250-foot setback, and you would also get a vegetative buffer on your property line. So
I hope they didn't strain themselves giving you all those freebies.
Yeah. They also offered us a $10 discount at the county fair to purchase some food. So,
So wait, it wasn't like they offered you a pallet of cash or something. They're like, hey, you get a setback, some vegetation, and $10 off the county fair.
Yes. And then a couple other $100. They kind of threw in $1,000 closer to the wire when they were really trying, when people were not signing these agreements because it didn't make any sense. But I mean, $1,000 for us is nothing. I mean, we're going to lose so much more than that in our property value alone. Not to mention the health impacts and all of that we're going through. I mean, we're losing sleep over this, and we've been for over a year now. Trying to fight this. We've got a legal team. We've got experts in the state that have fought these projects, and they are very well versed in this. And we're working with them. And I think that what they did at the Area Plan Commission meeting on the 11th, just solidified, and it was why we got that unanimous vote to not recommend this project to the commissioners.
Yeah, Jillian Gaston is our guest. She's with the group called Putnam County Residents Against Solar. They're fighting this massive solar farm outside of the town of Cloverdale. What do you say to people? Because one of the fascinating arguments to me is that, hey, if somebody wants to sell their land, they should be able to sell it whoever they want. They can do sort of whatever they want. What do you say to people who make that argument?
Property rights do not stop at your fence line. We have rights as well. And when you do something on your property that impacts your neighbors, you can't do that. That's why we have these zoning laws in place. I mean, it's not okay. We have rights as well. We're gonna have to live through years of construction, live around these hazardous materials, the heat island effect that this may have. We have children. I have a 1.5-year-old and a 5-year-old, and our home where we live, how would we be able to enjoy our property the same way that we do today when we're going to be surrounded by fencing, glass, metal, concrete, rocks? Like, we chose to live here because this is my husband's family farm.
Yeah.
We're raising the 4th generation here. We have 20 acres, and now you want to swallow us up in glass and metal and toxic materials? That's not a place where we wanted to raise our family.
Real quick, I wanted you to talk about that, because I think you kind of touched on when you talked about this project proposed just outside of Cloverdale is bigger than the entire town of Cloverdale. You are talking about essentially remaking, in some cases, in some of these communities, hundreds of years of history just going away with one project, just totally changing the entire history and landscape of communities on things like this.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not consistent with what the people of Putnam County want. We want to protect our farmland and our open spaces. Our UDO, our vision is to do that. And this is an industrial power plant. They are claiming that they want to graze sheep on this area to just say that, yes, this is still going to be used for agriculture. If this was going to be used for agriculture, we wouldn't need to rezone it to a different zone. It's already zoned as agriculture. So that's not the primary use for this land. It's not appropriate. It's not protecting our rural areas and our farmland, our prime farmland, and that's what we care about the most.
Yeah, Jillian Gaston is our guest. She is a Putnam County resident just in Cloverdale, and there is a group that is organized to defeat back a massive solar farm. Just a couple minutes left with her. So how are you guys feeling about the county commissioner vote on Monday? Because the planning commission is, again, just an advisory board. Sometimes that works in your favor. Sometimes it doesn't. How are you guys feeling about this? How much pressure has been put on these county commissioners to go against their planning commission?
Yeah, I mean, I think we feel pretty good. We have had an overwhelming response. We have a petition with over 350 signatures against this, way more, and they've had 25 petition signatures for it. So, I mean, that just, it shows. We packed the room at the APC meeting with over 800 people. You know, we hope that happens again. We've had numerous letters written to the commissioners, you know, over the last couple months to just express what the community wants, and it's evident. I mean, it's clear. So with the APC voting unanimous, it's going to be hard for the commissioners to try to go against that. I mean, and it's, I mean, the numbers are there. More people are against this than they are for this. We've debunked their, you know, myths of this tax revenue that the county is going to benefit from. Like, that's not guaranteed. That's just a tax relief for them as a company. And it's, yeah, I mean, I think we feel pretty good, but, you know, there's always some question, but we have a great legal team, a great team of experts is here, you know, supporting us in our fight. They know the value of our land and what we are here to protect, and our families and our health. And so I think we have a good shot.
Yeah, real quick, before we let you go, I think you just touched on something everybody needs to know about, is that you guys have had to spend your own money on this to fight back what appears to be a very bad policy proposal. And you guys have had to invest all of your own resources just to preserve history and historical uses of land and really keep that land, you know, feeding and taking care of a nation. Yeah.
Yes, we have thousands of dollars, and, you know, we do have a way for people to help support us and donate to our funds. You know, we're doing this work, and it's going to benefit the entire county, because this isn't going to go away. If this does get passed, what is going to stop the next one from coming into our county? And we can't have that. I mean, that would be detrimental. We've seen this, you know, with countless other industrial solar projects across the state of Indiana and across the nation, and they make false promises and they lie to us, and it's not a good situation.
Yeah, well, we're all cheering for you. Keep us posted, and good luck on Monday with your meeting.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
We are broadcasting the Hammer and Nigel Show live from Coach's Tavern, downtown, just diagonal from the Field House, presented by the Finnish Long Drink. We want to see all of you there.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Don't wait to hear it from someone else.
I says, oh, yeah? And she says, yeah, that's right.
The WIBC Daily Newsletter brings you the headlines, videos, and moments everyone will be talking about next.
I just want to use your love tonight. I don't want
You have an interesting statistic on how people are viewing the media.
Overall trust in the media has hit a record low. Dun, 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 dun.
It's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Tell about how the public is viewing the media.
Just 28% of Americans say they have a great deal or a fair amount of trust in newspapers, TV, and radio.
Oh.
We'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
We'll tell you like it is. You can trust us. That is down from 31% in 2023 and 40% in 2019. So this marks the first time that confidence has dropped below 30%.
Now, this is Gallup.
It is.
This poll.
It's the lowest since Gallup has been tracking this ever.
Now, what's fascinating to me, so like they go as far back, like basically what, 1972, and in 1972, this is fascinating to me. The media was had a trust rate of like 72%.
Correct.
Look, I hate to break this to you.
Yeah.
But the media, they're human beings. They always, it's a human inclination to have a slant one way or another, even if you're trying your hardest to be fair. Now, there are people like, see the George W. Bush National Guard story that just blatantly make up stuff, and that gets exposed. But I think the biggest issue is that there's less and less of a delineation between opinion and hard news.
And news.
And they've sort of morphed into one thing. So, like, if you come to this show, we are not unbiased. I'm telling you this. Like, I don't think you need to know that. You know, we've been, for 9 years, I've been telling you, I am the most biased person you're ever going to meet. If you're coming here looking for fair and balanced, you done come to the wrong place. Now, how many times have we run stories and got them right and first, right? Whether it's the Mike Bohachik OWI or the OWI that Bo Baird was able to avoid public scrutiny on. You know, a litany of stories that we were first about J.D. Vance coming to Indiana. Like, I mean, we get stuff right, and I don't run with stuff without having sourced it. And, you know, if you're breaking news and you get it wrong, that looks horrible on you. But in terms of the things we talk about every single day, we're not here pretending to be fair and balanced. We totally want you to think the way we think, but we disclose it.
Right.
Not that you need it disclosed, but we are honest about it.
But there is a clear delineation between the opinion shows, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, and the WIBC newsroom, where they are trying to be unbiased.
Yeah, we go to the news at the top and bottom of the hour, and we'll tell you, or you'll hear a sounder that says the WIBC news, and those people are giving you the news of the day. That's as close to as fair and balanced down the middle as you're going to get. A, B, C, and D happened, and then we talk about it and give you opinions on it. But I do think the quote-unquote trust, like, I don't think the news is any less biased than it was 50 years ago. I just think, one, people have many avenues to get information so they can see the bias. Like, if Walter Cronkite told you something in 1972, that, my friends, was the gospel.
Well, that's the difference on how it has morphed, because back then he would give you the news and you would create your opinion. And now you're given an opinion and you have to decipher what is news.
But I don't think it's as brazen, but I think he had bias the same way everybody else did. You know, the famous saying when Johnson didn't run for re-election, when you lost Walter Cronkite, you'd lost the country. Clearly, he had an opinion on what was going on. And I think any person is going to craft stories around things they're interested in or have some sort of opinion on. Look, it's naive to think that just because some person is reading from a teleprompter that they don't have a bias on it. I think people are just able to spot it easier, and I think it morphs now in with opinion pieces. Like, was it Andy Rooney? Was he the one at the end of 60 Minutes? You would basically have Andy Rooney doing stories now. Yeah. It wouldn't be some guy ranting at the end of the thing. You knew that's what you were getting. Andy Rooney has basically just been inserted into mainstream reporting, and people see through it and they don't trust it anymore.
So let's talk about how this is broken down to political affiliation. Republicans' trust dropped to single digits, a record low, only 8% of Republicans trust the media. It's the lowest ever recorded. It hasn't exceeded 21% trust in the media since 2015. And think about what happened in 2016. There was a little bounce in 2018. It popped up a little. But for Republicans, trust in the media has pretty much stayed down since 2016. Independents, they trust media at 27%. Democrats, the most trusting. They're currently at 51%.
I would love to ask those people, those Republicans, who do you believe is a believable news source? That would be fascinating.
The 8% that do have trust?
Right. And then compare that to how Democrats and independents would view that same source. Because I think trust now is all in the eye of the beholder. And I think the broader takeaway is trust really now is affirmation. Trust is becoming more affirmation of my inherent belief system, because I will get people all the time who have for years, oh, Rob's the guy. Oh, he's Mr. Independent. Oh, he calls out all this. We love it. And then you call it their guy, which we've seen that quite a lot lately. When we treat their guy or girl the same way that we've treated every other guy or girl, it was great.
Until it wasn't.
Until we treated your person
with
the same
accountability.
Way. Yeah, we've treated the same. So I think trust now, as we work through this little exercise together, I think trust is just becoming more and more a code word for affirmation.
So media trust at an all-time low, fractured by party and generation. Older adults maintain more confidence, while younger Americans, they show real deep skepticism. It's interesting because if you look at the breakdown, let's just take Democrats, who have the highest level of trust in media right now. If you're talking about a senior, they're at 59% plus, but when you get down to the Gen Z, 18 to 29-year-olds, it falls down to 38%. So the older you are, the more you're still confident in what you're being told. The younger you are, the more skeptical you are. Now, does social media play into that?
All right, when we come back, we're going to get a lot more into this IEDC audit and the bad behavior from this quasi-anti-transparent government entity.
It is Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln & Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve, plus complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln & Fishers.
Hey guys, it's Rob for our friend Mark Deedle, one of the greatest Hoosiers who has ever lived. And on top of that, he wants you to know that Zillow ranks Indianapolis #2 among 2025's hottest markets. Home values have risen and are holding strong. Now is a great time to sell. Hire the team with proven systems to maximize your equity. Sell your home with Mark Deedle. Perhaps you're worried you're going to need costly repairs or upgrades to sell your home. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Luke and Emma in Franklin had to say about working with Mark Deedle. We began building our new dream home, and we needed to sell our old place at a great price to pay for it. The Mark Deedle team made it easy with multiple offers in the first weekend and closed in 25 days at the price we wanted. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning. Owner Robert Kirby says more and more customers are looking into the advantages of mini splits as an add-on to help heat and cool smaller spaces.
Separate zones, so separate control of your temperatures. You can turn them off if you want to, or run them at a different temperature. They're ultra quiet and efficient. And you can use them in spaces where there's not always a lot of room for ductwork.
Just go to KirbyHeating.com. Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning is your American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
It's JMV. The fall season continues at Miss M's Home and Garden. Visit Johnson County's premier garden center for a large selection of locally grown mums, pumpkins, gourds, and fall decor. Now is a great time to shop and save. Happening now at Miss M's. Save 50% on pottery and herbaceous perennials, along with 40% savings on in-stock patio furniture. Don't forget, they also have a selection of trees and shrubs up to 50% off. Miss M's Home and Garden, located on State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
Hey, listen to this. All it needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, what a fire did to an apartment complex early this morning on Indy's west side, how officers handled an investigation into a wanted man on Thursday, and the ceremony for a large project underway in downtown Indianapolis this morning. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
How much time will he get? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Sentencing is this hour in federal court for Sean Diddy Combs, who has a message for the judge.
I ask you for mercy today, not only for my sake, but for the sake of my children.
That is in a letter the hip-hop star, singer, and producer sent as prosecutors push for an 11-year prison sentence on 2 different prostitution-related convictions stemming from Combs' sex scandal. Briella Tomasetti with Fox 5 TV reads more.
In one part, Diddy writes, "In my life, I have made many mistakes, but I am no longer running from them. I am so sorry for the hurt that I caused, but I understand that the mere words 'I'm sorry' will never be good enough, as these words alone cannot erase the pain from the past." In another, he says, "I am now sober for the first time in 25 years. I have been trying my best to deal with my drug abuse and anger issues and take accountability as well as positive steps towards healing."
It's day 3 of the government shutdown that has furloughed about 750,000 federal employees. Others deemed essential keep working but won't get paid till there's funding. The September jobs report and new unemployment rate did not get released this morning as the closure halts economic data collection and release. Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-DeRemer tells Fox Business,
It's so disappointing that the president has been putting the American worker first for his entire administration to just see the Democrats play games and shut down this government.
Democrats blame Republicans for refusing to negotiate as they demand cuts the GOP made in the so-called Big Beautiful Bill be restored, including health care subsidies, and they deny trying to give coverage to illegal immigrants. But House Speaker Mike Johnson just told Fox Democrats do want that.
I would direct everybody right now, go to speaker.gov, okay? That's my official website. We put right there on the first page the evidence. I have the receipts.
The Senate plans to vote again today on a short-term funding plan, but that's also expected to fail. The Supreme Court's next term will start Monday, and the justices this morning added 3 new cases to consider, including a Second Amendment issue out of Hawaii, challenging a state law putting strict regulations on where people are allowed to carry guns in public places and private property. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Displacing over a dozen. It's sunny and 68 on Monument Circle. The high in the mid-80s today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 10:02. A fast-moving fire tearing through several apartments early this morning near Rockville Road and Lyndhurst Drive on the west side of Indianapolis, leaving at least 15 people without a place to live.
Pretty rapid spread. It is a little dry out here, but the way these apartments are set up, it's really kind of an uncommon scenario. We just don't see that kind of spread that rapidly.
Wayne Township Fire Captain Eric Bannister says several people jumped from the second floor to safety, and multiple others, including children, were taken to a hospital. IMPD officers responding to a home on the city's east side Thursday during an active investigation into a wanted man. IMPD Assistant Chief Michael Wally said no officers were hurt after they shot and injured the suspect while trying to arrest him.
And I'm thankful our officers are okay, and I'm thankful that they show up every day and return to work despite the circumstances that they face, and they will continue to do the best job that they can.
Police say the suspect was initially cooperating with police, but at one point they say he reached for his waistband and then tried to run. The man was wanted for unlawful possession of a firearm by a violent felon and robbery. A special ceremony starting last hour of city leaders and project stakeholders, topping off the new 38-story Signia by Hilton Hotel. The project is the 6th major anchor hotel connected to the downtown convention center.
It was little over a year ago that we stood here on this site and watched as the construction team poured the concrete and laid the foundation for this project.
Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett joining hotel officials and building leaders at the site for the ceremony. Hogsett says the city will soon have more than 5,200 connected hotel rooms to the convention center. Vice President of the Women's National Basketball Players Association Executive Committee Nafisa Collier saying this week that it hasn't been a positive experience when talking to WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert recently. Fever guard Caitlin Clark backed that up, saying the league has to be better from top to bottom.
I think what people need to understand, we need great leadership in this time across all levels.
Clark spoke publicly for the first time in a while. She did not respond directly to Engelbert's comments where she, according to Collier, said Clark would not be making $16 million off the court without the platform of the league. In college football, Saturday, Notre Dame hosts Boise State. Kickoff is at 3:30. Purdue will be hosting 22nd-ranked Illinois. That game kicks off at noon, and 8th-ranked Indiana has the week off. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level on the go and at WIBC.com. Kendall Casey back in 1 minute.
Don Fisher for QC Kinetics. I was struggling with chronic knee pain and wasn't encouraged with the options of risky surgery and pain pills. QC Kinetics offered the best option for me, cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Their non-invasive treatment stimulated my body's own biologics so I could be pain-free and get back to doing what I love, playing golf. QC Kinetics has a fantastic success rate, and it's clear to see why so many Hoosiers are happy to tell their story of how they reclaim their lives with the QC Kinetics approach. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to qckinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. QC Kinetics uses the latest technologies, whether it's stem cell, PRP, plasma, or a number of other advanced therapies. Call QC Kinetics. It'll be the best call you will make. Get back in the game, whatever that is for you. Call 317-559-PAIN.
This hour powered by Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, your independent American Standard Air dealer.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
When the people in charge don't say anything, it tells you all you need to know.
Should we continue our conversation on the slush funds? I mean, the IEDC?
So yesterday afternoon, the IEDC forensic audit was released, and you once again should be outraged as a taxpayer on a variety of levels. First and foremost, because it was exactly what we told you it was going to be, in which, despite all of these people allegedly behaving badly, no one's going to be held to any sort of account. There's not going to be one person that's going to be, charged with anything. There's not going to be one person that's going to be, it looks like, forced to pay any sort of money back. There's not going to be formal reprimands, people getting booted off various things. Nothing. They all got away with it. We told you they were going to get away with it. And the reason this gross misuse of our monies, our hard-earned monies, is allowed to happen is because these people that are at the center of these allegations, examinations found in this audit, other articles that have been written, are so connected that the politicians recognize. It's the same reason no one will ever do anything about Diego Morales, because there's so much money on the line, and in particular money that flows back to these politicians through various campaign donations, etc., that they can't do anything about it. Because in a strange way, if they do something about it, they almost indict themselves. And
admittance.
So what you've gotten is $800,000 of your hard-earned money to tell you, Casey, hey, we really should crack down on conflict of interest and be more transparent.
So let's do an audit overview for everybody. This was conducted by FTI Consulting. As Rob mentioned, it cost $800,000 of your money. And the scope was the IEDC, Elevate Ventures, Applied Research Institute, and LEAP. The time frame was between 22 and 24. That's what they were looking into. They reviewed over 20,000 plus documents. They interviewed 27 current and former employees. They came up with this report at 121 pages, and the big thing that they found, there's no criminal wrongdoing. There were some other findings, though, and I think we should get into some of those key findings.
Okay, so I had this conversation with somebody a while ago in law enforcement, very respected member of law enforcement, and I was talking to them about why some people might create numerous entities when they don't own that many businesses. And this doesn't mean it's true in every case. I'm not implying that it is. But he said one of the things that law enforcement will find is that the sort of people who might end up on an American Greed episode create many, whether they're S-corps, LLCs, whatever. And you'll find this because it makes it harder to track what's actually going on. And by the time law enforcement gets done looking at one LLC, S-corp, whatever it might be, the money, the evidence, the whatever has been moved to another entity. And if it takes you six months to get through one organization, then you got to go to another, then you got to go to another, then you got to go to another. And that's why these white-collar crime cases can take years and years to put together, because these people are so good at creating diversions and distractions. And what you realize with the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, think about all the groups you just named, and that's scratching the surface on the amount of players involved in this whole thing.
Right.
You're seeing the exact same thing here. Well, some of this money went over here, and some of it went over here, and this group plays by a different set of rules than this group does, and then this money went from this group to this group, and it takes forever to get to the bottom of exactly what's going on, and that is by design. Don't kid yourselves. Why would the government need to give money to a nonprofit to give money to other people? Why wouldn't the government, if they want people to have it, just give it to the business directly or the group directly? Well, a logical person might assume, based on what we know about how other non-governmental actors put things together, they want to make it hard for people to figure out and track and trace and hold accountable to what's going on.
You know what it reminds me of? I'm sure you've seen a movie or a TV show where the investigators, they've found the source and it's all stored in the warehouse and they're on their way and they go and they look in the windows of the warehouse, and what happens? The warehouse is empty. It's been cleared out. It's gone. It's the same thing. So there's these large contracts that were awarded without competitive bidding. For example, there was a $77 million contract to Pure Development for LEAP project. They say it lacked due diligence.
Wait, how much?
$77 million.
So we're not talking about, hey, it was $1,000 because we needed a grass cutting contract. We're talking about $77 million. No bid.
Right. No bid.
No bid.
That's it exactly.
That's what they think of your money. That's what the state of Indiana thinks of your money. It's just $77 million. No bid.
Yeah, we're just going to give it to this one group for sure. Lots of conflicts of interest. 30 entities had ties to IEDC staff and board members while they were receiving funding. Only 4 of the 52 related contracts were discussed in board meetings. And about those board meetings, they say the meeting minutes, they often lack detail, including any conflict disclosures. Well, of course, just one conflict was disclosed to the State Ethics Commission. Travel and entertainment spending. Ooh, Rob.
This is the big one, Casey.
Rob.
Why don't you go into that one for a minute?
Nearly 50% of IDF's $13.4 million spending went to international travel. Couple of examples. $86,000 on international car racing events. $70,000 on luxury hotels. $167,000 in travel costs for family members. That's so nice.
That's the big one.
That's so nice. I mean, we're just proving right there that Indiana is a family-friendly state.
Well, that's the big one, right? So it also comes back to the story we talked about yesterday with the travel and the amount of money these people spend on travel. One of the things that we didn't really get to do a deep dive on yesterday is because, no surprise, Dirty Diego Morales, the Indiana Secretary of State, was the biggest abuser of the taxpayers with $33,000 in state-funded travel. What didn't come out yesterday, and we should have spent more time going into this, but we did several segments on it, and there's only so much you can get to, is they're only required, I think, to report, well, as clearly as the lieutenant governor proved by not reporting any dollar amounts, it appeared, according to Nikki Haley. You're not even really required to report anything. You just have to, you literally, with that travel reporting form, I realized this yesterday, you could take that form, you could wipe your butt cheeks with it after sitting on the toilet, submit it to the state, and they would accept it as you have complied with the rules. But one of the things with Diego that appears to be the case is that's just his travel. He goes with an entourage of people. Right. So when we're talking about hotels or meals or anything else, or even in the case, now that SUV he's got is pretty big, so maybe he can fit everybody into the SUV, but you may have multiple people going. That's not a part of this. It's just the office holder that had to account. Same thing here. You've got family members of office holders, of state officials who are going on these trips paid for by the IEDC.
That's nice.
Now, one of the things that we've got to point out here is how few people, this is one of the biggest stories to ever hit the state of Indiana when you factor in the, literally at this point, billions of dollars taxpayers have given to the IEDC over time, and the limited, if any, results that we've gotten for it, and now the blatantly what appears to be just corrupt, unethical behavior coming out of the IEDC, and yet who has said a word from the Indiana General Assembly or our statewide lawmakers about any of this? You've had almost a day now, and who's said a word about any of this?
Ed Delaney did come out. We had him on
Democrat.
the show yesterday.
He's a Democrat.
Democrat, yep, state rep. He called the audit a good start, and then he went on to say the potential for crimes is rather high. Get rid of this total veil of secrecy.
So I went and I thought, okay, if there's anybody who's probably tweeted about this, it's the Lieutenant Governor, Micah Beckwith, who literally ran on, and I was at the debate when he was talking about this at the state fair, what a rotten, no good, underhanded institution the IEDC was. I heard him say it in a room full of people, as did everybody else who was there. I thought, surely he has some just dramatic, straight to the point tweet about dissolving the IEDC. And to be fair, I wanted to make sure I was not misrepresenting. I went to both his campaign and his lieutenant governor account. His last post on his lieutenant governor account was congratulating the Fever on a nice season. And on his campaign account, or personal account, whatever you want to call it, it's demanding that we redistrict.
Okay. So not mentioning anything about this audit.
Nothing.
It's 121 pages. He's taken his time to get through it.
Well, maybe he understands it the way he admitted he understood the property tax deal, which is none. And he was just pulling stuff out of his ass and saying things because it sounded good on the campaign. My point is, where's Todd Houston, the Speaker of the House? Where's Rod Bray, the pro tem of the Senate? Where's Jeff Thompson, the head of Ways and Means, who controls the money that has flowed to the IEDC? Where are any of these people? Where's Daniel Elliott? Where's Elise Nishala, the comptroller? Has Braun said anything like as Braun, or is it just his office that has said something?
It was just his office, and the only thing that they mentioned so far was that there were no criminal findings.
Where's Todd Rokita, Mr. Law and Order? Does he stand behind, 30 conflicts of interest that are talked about in this report? Where's Mr. Justice himself? Not a word from him. Not a word from any of these people, because they don't give a damn about you. They're hoping now that they've done this report that's not going to hold anyone accountable for anything. The public will just forget about it, and it will go away.
I want to go back to the $86,000 that was spent on international car racing events. Where is the return on investment?
How much?
$86,000.
On car racing?
International car racing events.
Not even like we're helping the Indy 500.
Correct. $700,000 on luxury hotels. They give an example, the Four Seasons. That must have been so nice. I mean, that's just got to be just a pleasant stay.
regardless of whether Braun or the state is going to hold anyone criminally accountable or civilly accountable for any of this, every person in that state house knows what that audit reveals. And that is that the IEDC, this is one of the biggest stories in the history of the state, or it should be, which is that the Indiana Economic Development Commission, set up by design to be as untransparent as they could possibly be so that the public wouldn't know what was going on, has now been proven, as we have told you for years on this show, to be nothing more than a corrupt, unethical, glorified, legalized money laundering operation. And not a word from any of these people?
Mm-hmm. The audit revealed that the IEDC distributed more than $1.4 billion during the review period, which was 22 to 24. $1.4 billion.
That's just 2 years, right?
Correct.
22, 23, 24. So we'll say 3 years.
The LEAP project received $495 million.
So LEAP got $495 million.
34% of their budget.
Right. So $495 million went to
LEAP.
Eli Lilly.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have water or electricity on their own. They have to steal it, in this case, from Tippecanoe County with the water. Now, they've got somebody else who's agreed to subsidize them now, but they were trying to steal it from Tippecanoe County. And they've got somebody else who's going to help them now with the power. One of these utilities is going to help them with the power. But $495 million, and they put all of that without even having the basic necessities of water and electricity figured out. And what have we gotten for it? We've gotten a campus for Eli Lilly, mm-hmm. and a pledge, which hasn't followed through yet, from Meta. $495 million of your money for a campus for Eli Lilly and a pledge from Meta. Is that a good use? What would have been a better use of that $495 million?
Well, the total is over $1 billion that they've given out, right?
No, I'm just talking about LEAP.
And they raised taxes to cover $1 billion shortfall. Well, there it is. There it is.
Yes. Would $495 million have been better spent fixing roads and bridges and sidewalks that are universally used by all of the public at large, or tucking it in to some pie-in-the-sky politician's legacy project that thus far we can't get any clear indication on what that has produced in terms of return on investment for the taxpayers? What would have been a better use of that money? Oh, and by the way, just so happens the city they chose is run by the son of one of the most powerful Republicans in the entire state of Indiana. Probably just a coincidence.
It is Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the Morning News. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The fall season continues at Sundown Gardens. Visit the Garden Center for a large selection of locally grown mums, pumpkins, gourds, and fall decor. Now's a great time to shop and save. Happening now at Sundown Gardens, save 50% on all pottery and herbaceous perennials. The nursery is still full of a great fall selection of trees and shrubs. Save 50% on select nursery items. Sundown Gardens, located on the corner of 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. SundownGardens.com.
Up to 50% off and 2.99% financing, plus receive an additional $550 off your project.
Because at B Window,
we mean business. We mean business.
What's this good news you have about grocery prices?
They're still high, Rob.
Oh, I thought it was good news.
They're still high. High food prices disproportionately hurting working class people. 1 in 3 say that they can't afford the groceries. Nearly 50% say groceries are harder to afford. Yeah. So food inflation still up. Ground beef still up 12.8%. Eggs are up 10.9%. Coffee still up 20.9%. So grocery prices are 30% higher than they were just 5 years ago.
Okay, and this is why Trump finds himself, I think we kind of accept now, there's enough polls, including by people who support him, you put him together, he's in the low 40s, and it's trending downward. And that is because he has not only has he not done anything to address, he's making it worse by the tariffs and now these interest rate cuts, basically strong-arming the Fed into cutting interest rates. He's making the signature issue worse, which is the affordability of living.
Yeah, I mean, this is a real concern for the midterms, right? Because this is one of the major issues that the Republicans and Trump ran on in 24. This could really influence the 26 midterms because it's not going to be immigration, it's not going to be crime, it's going to be because you can't afford to eat, and you got to eat.
Yeah, I had a long conversation, this has been a week or so ago, with somebody in the financial industry, and we were talking about what our government's doing and the behavior they're incentivizing. And so basically, they sell to you, oh, we're going to cut rates and look at how this is going to help you buy a home. Well, okay, maybe a little, maybe some, but okay, what percentage of the population is currently in the market to buy a home? You can cut your rate from 6.5 to 6.25. You're still 3.5 points higher than where I'm at. It doesn't help me one bit. Yeah, there are some people who are looking to get into the market that this will help. But as with everything else this government does, be it Biden or Trump or any of these other people, the businesses, the big business, the people with access to mass capital are going to be the beneficiaries. That's who's going to be able to borrow substantial amounts of money on the cheap, which then it encourages reckless behavior because they've got to, the society's got to make money. Well, if they're gutting the value of money, which means if you put your thing in like a CD or a money market account, you're not getting any interest out of that now. So now you got to do something more reckless, like, and look, consult your trained financial advisor, but put it in the stock market, which sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But you're taking people who want to do things the right way. I want to make money. I want to save money. I want to put it in something secure. I want to put it in something that's going to grow over time. I don't want to have a risk with my finances. Older people certainly fall into this category. And they're going, no home for you here. Either you play by these rules because your money's worth nothing, or don't play at all. And that is the Trump economy right now. I'm sorry, people are going to be mad because I'm saying something negative about Trump. But this is why his approval ratings are where they're at. People see that their life is not getting more affordable. People see that living is not getting easier. Trump promised to fix these things, and he time and again is doing things that are doing the exact opposite.
So we're told over and over again that we have a strong GDP and the stock market is performing and there's low unemployment. But the thing is, the wage growth has slowed. And if you can't afford your groceries, you really have to look at that. It's not going to be, it's the economy. It's going to be, it's the groceries. Now, coming out of the Trump administration, you've got the press secretary who is blaming Biden for inherited inflation. And she's pointing out, well, you know, the price of eggs have dropped. But wasn't the egg price increase due to the disease?
Yeah, remember there was a huge outbreak of bird flu. Mm-hmm. Which is why, yes, there was a spike, because that was last year, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And remember, Biden was trying to say, this is not my fault, which for once, maybe it really wasn't his fault. But my point on all of this is so many people are invested in, well, if we just win this election or we just win that election, if you take the amount of money, so you said the past 5 years, that was your stat, right? Mm-hmm. Food prices have increased 30 what percent?
Grocery prices 30% higher than 5 years ago.
Okay. So that we're including 2020 in this then, right?
Mhm.
So, okay. So if you take the amount of money printed by Trump and the Republicans in 2020 and the amount of money they've now agreed to print in the big bullcrap bill, and you add those together and you compare them to the amount of money Biden printed in his 4 years in office, Trump has printed more money. So unless you're just going to say money printed during Republican administrations doesn't count, which I think any economist is going to tell you, debt is debt, whether it's done by Republicans or Democrats, then Republicans have contributed more to higher food prices, and Republicans bribed the states to shut down the country, which caused the supply chain issues. Now, we all know Biden would have done it too. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, if only Biden had been president, this wouldn't have happened. Of course it would have happened. But until we start having an honest assessment of who our politicians are and what they've actually done, screw their press conferences, screw their rallies, screw their TV interviews, screw what they put on social media, look at their actual voting record. Both of these sides have played a part in you being where you are today, and yet some people either can't or won't get that through their head, and they keep cheerleading for one side or another to win, right? Because somehow their life's going to get better. You know what will make your life better? Well, okay. First of all, let's take a break. There was a politician who I think was very mean to us yesterday, Casey.
I think he was talking about us?
I think he was talking about us, so we'll play you that audio. But somebody who will definitely make your life better is Jarrett Lewis with the news.
He's up next on 93 WIBC.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 in the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations. In the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35. West 86th Street and Michigan Road. And the second location in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Get there before the truck is gone.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Not sure when it'll end. Sunny and 71 in downtown Indy. We'll get up to 86 today for a high. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:30. No sign yet that Democrats and Republicans will come together on a deal to end the government shutdown. We're into day 3. Democrats are demanding Congress take up an extension to health care benefits provided by the Affordable Care Act. Republicans are trying to get votes on a bill that would reopen the government at current spending levels. President Trump considering a number of cuts as the federal government remains shut down. Fox's Jackie Heinrich has more from the White House.
The president and OMB director Russ Vought reportedly went over plans to fire about 16,000 federal workers when they met yesterday. 750,000 are furloughed right now. The Washington Post is reporting that there are some within the administration who are cautioning against these layoffs, citing the potential for legal challenges. But in the meantime, they're focusing their attention on funding cuts to blue states after freezing infrastructure funds in New York, which was widely interpreted as a shot at Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries.
Elsewhere, the president is telling Congress he's now in armed conflict with drug cartels, which he considers to be terrorist groups. Borders' Tom Homan says the president is acting in line with the law.
They've killed more Americans than every terrorist organization combined with a poison United States. So he's treating them as terrorists like they should be, and he's playing the away game.
UN officials, though, accuse the president of violating international law as he orders the military to sink drug smuggling boats in the southern Caribbean. And Sean Diddy Combs is set to be sentenced following his conviction on 2 prostitution-related charges. Prosecutors are pushing for an 11-year prison term, while his defense team argues for a 14-month sentence. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Truck drivers, the holiday rush is here. Take advantage by becoming a Schneider driver. By driving for one of America's busiest carriers, you'll stay busy during the holiday season and throughout the new year. Plus, as a Schneider driver, you'll have access to top-quality driver support and newer equipment spec'd with the latest safety and comfort features that drivers want. Don't wait. Get a jump on 2026 by exploring jobs in your area today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
At Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, our mission is to provide honest assessments and recommendations. We promise you'll never be sold something you don't need.
PricePointComfort.com. They are your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air dealer.
Great news, Casey.
Yeah, what's that, Rob?
We have a new winner of the A-hole of the day.
Do we?
This guy, I mean, I think he's won before, but he's taken it to a new level, and we're included in his derogatory comments. Ed Soliday is his name, and if you were to look up dirty, rotten, old fool in the dictionary, there'd be a photo of this guy, because Ed Soliday is the utility chair in the House of Representatives, and he has been one of the leaders, the biggest proponents of basically appearing to say that the utilities should be able to do whatever they want to do and charge you whatever they want to charge. And if you push back, then you are the bad guy. If you're like, hey, life is getting kind of unaffordable right now.
Wait a minute.
I'd like to be able to afford to turn my lights on and make sure the air conditioner works. As we saw, and we laid out on this program, when he appeared to try to strong-arm
Mayor
Austin Bonta, the mayor of Portage, who the mayor came on our program and talked about this in great detail, that he had spoken out about the IURC, the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, and their repeated approval of rate hikes, and the utility in his area and their rate hikes, and saying, look, my constituents simply are running out of money. This must stop, please. And Ed Soliday, like some sort of mafia figure, sent him a text message saying, hey, you speak out, and I'm going to do what I can to make sure you guys don't get an increase in funding going forward.
Yeah, maybe if he wasn't threatening various mayors to cut off funding, there wouldn't be a problem, right?
Then it also came out in this huge expose from the Indy Star back in August about, one, the amount of money that these utilities have given to lawmakers, and in particular, the amount of money that has been bestowed upon Mr. Soliday, Representative Soliday, in the form of meals and entertainment.
Steak dinner Soliday.
Steak dinner Soliday. Something like $900, I believe was the number that they came up with. And yet this guy...
He's mad at us. Or the media.
He's not mad that his constituents are being forced out of potentially being able to afford to flip their lights on. He's not outraged that these utility companies keep basically getting whatever they want. No, listen to this, Casey. He's mad at us for pointing out his voting record and pointing out, hey, some of our listeners, they're having trouble making ends meet. This was I think this was yesterday in a government meeting. Take a listen.
So we put legislation in place to fix that infrastructure. We invested for the future. And we've done the same thing with electric, but the same people keep crying, oh, and they lie to people and say you can have zero increase in rates. That is a lie. You can probably tell I have a real burr under my saddle about the hyperbole that has gone on, and it's not just on one side of the aisle. Particularly the media who has not been responsible in this issue. So I only am taking this time, and I know it will to put the hyperbole in some kind of context. We're trying to fix our infrastructure for our kids.
So I'm screwing you over and over and over again so that your kids can have something nicer. Tell me, Mr. Soliday, what the hell does a Google data center have to do with making my daughter have a better life?
I want to point out something else, that electric utilities collectively have donated millions to the IEDC.
Yes, because they're the big winners. Aha! So to bring our show full circle.
Full circle.
Wonderfully well done, Casey. Yes,
you.
I believe as part of that, the IEDF, the foundation that was paying for a lot of this, these utilities were donating massive amounts of money because they would supply to pay for these trips, et cetera, because they would supply the power for whatever these things are that come to the state of Indiana, and they would make big money out of it.
Meanwhile, they're giving tax breaks to the data centers.
These are our elected officials. He's not mad about what's happening to you. He's not mad about how utility rate. By the way, he acts like utilities have been going up. They have been going up. We've laid them out time and time again on this program.
He even admitted in part of that he doesn't pay the bills. He had to ask his wife.
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
great. Yeah, this was a long thing. It was like 2 parts. And it was like, I don't know, maybe 4 minutes between the two of them. So I had to cut it down, take the stuff where he was just being mad at us. But he doesn't give a damn about you. He's mad at Rob and Casey and other, I guess, other media outlets. So here's the deal, Grandpa Corruption. If you want to have a fight, you come to the right place, pal. You want to get into it? Say no more. But instead of hiding behind your big, powerful government desk, why don't you waltz your ass in here? You can find us at 40 Monument Circle, and we'll have the conversation for 50,000 people to hear. How about that, Ed Soliday?
Did you see the Indiana Capitol Chronicle put out an article the other day? They said the state explores multi-year rate setting. This is something that they're kicking around. Rather than setting the utility rates every year, they're looking at doing it 3 years in advance based on forecasted costs and revenues. But the hitch in this get along is that with these data centers coming in, how are they going to forecast that when they don't know how much electricity they'll be using?
To steal a line from Dr. Evil in Austin Powers, how about no? How about we're done paying more? How about that's all we ever do in taxes and utility bills? All we ever do, all these politicians ever do, is demand more from us. How about for once we get the break? How about the big utility monopolies who you give everything to? How about for once they take care of it? This guy is so gross, Casey.
Here's another big story coming out of the utility world is BlackRock in talks to buy AES.
I thought BlackRock got banned in the state of Indiana. Did I imagine that?
Global Infrastructure Partners, owned by BlackRock, is close to acquiring AES for around $38 billion.
I thought, yes.
Is that why
Pension board votes to remove from the Capitol Chronicle. This is December of 20. This brain, Casey. I'll tell you what.
So what does that mean here for AES customers here?
Wait. No.
You want to point out your brain?
Yes.
Okay.
Who else would have thought of that like that?
That was pretty good.
December 16th of 2024, Pension board votes to remove BlackRock due to ESG violations. So our state government kicking them out because of their bad behavior, and now what? They're about to acquire potentially one of these utilities?
Global Infrastructure Partners, owned by BlackRock, is close to acquiring AES Corp for around $38 billion.
Look, I know there's some tinfoil hat people in this world that have some wacky theories, but this idea of creating this dystopian 1984 society, it appears to be more and more accurate, in which the politicians are completely in cahoots with these powerful financial institutions and mega corporations that are going to price you out of the ability to live any sort of decent, moderate, middle-class existence. When those are your advocates, people like Ed Soliday, people are supposed to be your advocates, and he's mad at the media for standing up for you, why isn't he taking the approach that we're taking, which is people have paid enough? It's time to figure out how to keep the lights on without every year saying more and more and more and more. Where does it end? And then you couple it with, look at who's trying to buy these government sanctioned monopolies. A group that's so bad, the pension board said, get out of here.
Yeah.
Hard to believe why people feel the way about their government that they do. So the offer stands for Ed Soliday. No need to be a fake tough guy behind your powerful government desk. No need to be vague on who you're talking about. We all know who you're talking about. So man up, waltz in here, and let's have the conversation. Bet that doesn't happen, Casey.
Probably not. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, the shutdown continues and so does the insanity. After the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off or schedule a pickup, and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob. If you got kids between grades 6 through 12, there's a big event going on this weekend that Life Church would like to invite you to. It's the 4th Annual Truth Conference, and it's a weekend just for teens that has 3 main sessions related to live worship, breakout sessions where they can ask tough questions about God, the Bible, culture, and relationships. It's also going to have great food, amazing prizes, fun games for arcade bar, and more. Look, young people are open to faith and the idea of faith like never before. Take advantage of it with the 4th Annual Truth Conference. Learn more about it on the web, lifechurchin.com.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
The fall season continues at Sundown Gardens. Visit the Garden Center for a large selection of locally grown mums, pumpkins, gourds, and fall decor. Now's a great time to shop and save. Happening now at Sundown Gardens, save 50% on all pottery and herbaceous perennials. The nursery is still full of a great fall selection of trees and shrubs. Save 50% on select nursery items. Sundown Gardens, located on the corner of 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. SundownGardens.com.
Attention Indiana homeowners, are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or SwainCoLLC.com.
So fired up for a Hammer and Nigel Road Show, Coach's Tavern, downtown, Friday, October 3rd. It's brought to you by the Finnish Long Drink.
The Finnish Long Drink is financially backed by golfer Ricky Fowler and actor Miles Teller. You guys are going to love this, and we're going to sample some of these at Coach's Tavern, downtown, Friday, October 3rd. It's kind of my birthday party with the Finish Long Drink. We hope to see you there.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Game day starts here with the Colts Ultimate Tailgate at the Slippery Noodle this Sunday, kicking off at 9:30 a.m. We're bringing the party with ice-cold drinks, tailgate games, prizes, and all the pre-kickoff buzz. It's Indy's biggest Sunday celebration.
Okay, so it's time to find out who's going to win our bet. Hammer is here from the Hammer and Nigel show. Mm-hmm. And if you'll recall, Casey, earlier this year, Hammer and I, when the Diddy convictions came down.
Correct.
He got the 2 lower ones, something with prostitution or something like that. They
Transporting prostitutes.
Which seems a lot like human sex trafficking. But, anyway, you and I then had a conversation because he was not allowed out. He's forced to stay behind bars, and today is his sentencing. And I said, I think there's no way he's not going to do at least a year. You think it's going to be under a year.
I took the under. Now, here are the variables in play here with our wager, and we've made this clear from day one. No matter what the sentencing is today, let's say the judge says 5 years, 2 years, whatever. I don't think that he will spend 365 days incarcerated. I think they will release him early.
So the prosecutors, they're looking for a sentence of 11 years and 3 months.
No way.
His defense team insists 14 months is more adequate, and if it is 14 months, then it would be time served.
Yeah, okay, so that was the other thing. So we're all playing by the same rules, and I hate that we didn't come up with some wacky bet like we normally do. But I am acknowledging time served does not count. He's got to be in the pokey for 365 days from today.
Today forward.
Right.
Whatever happens today, 365 days from now. If he's still in jail, Rob wins. If he's released early, I win.
Now, I believe that now maybe it's changed, but I thought the federal guideline was 85. You had to do 85% of the sentence. That's the earliest you could get out. So if he gives him 6 years, depending on how long he's been in, he'd have to, and time served and whatever, it'd be 85% of whatever that is. So this judge seemed pretty pissed off at him during the trial. That's what I was going off of.
And I think you may be the favorite to win this one. But again, he's rich. He's famous. It's New York. Dudes have done way worse and gotten out quicker.
Oh, totally. It's amazing, though, with what appeared to be a just massive amount of evidence that they could not convict him.
Right.
Including the people giving the testimony about what they endured.
Yeah.
Right. So based on that, that's why I took the under. Like with the crappy charges they gave him, basically getting him off the hook of the heavy stuff, that just tells me that's going to continue to snowball into the sentencing process.
So a famous criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor in New York, he said he expects Combs to receive roughly 4 to 5 years in prison.
Okay, so that'll be close, depending on if they give him time served, because he's been behind bars for a while. But anything, I have to do some math here on the fly, but I think pretty much 18 months, like 16 months above his time served, and I think I would win the bet-ish. I'm doing math on the fly
But
here.
again, it doesn't cash until we actually see him serve the time.
Yeah, and I just
because halfway through next year, there'll be like a news dump on a Friday. Oh, the judge has said Diddy's rehabilitated, and
by
they
the
let
way,
him go.
he's out.
I agree, and none of us may even be here in a year, so who knows?
Who knows?
Hey, speaking of being here, you got a massive afternoon today.
We are so excited. We're kind of going to where it all started for the Hammer and Nigel show.
Coach's
One of the
Tavern.
places. Coach's Tavern downtown. downtown Pennsylvania Street, diagonal from the field house.
Yep.
Man, come on by and hang out. It's presented by The Long Drink, which is a specialty cocktail. Ricky Fowler's one of the owners. The dude that was Rooster in Maverick, Miles Teller, is one of the owners. And man, we're gonna have a good time. We want everybody down there, all of your audience, all of our audience. Come on down, let's pack the joint. We got some surprises lined up for everybody today. And also, we had a big announcement yesterday, Rob. We've got a very special Halloween shirt now available at the Hammer and Nigel merchandise store.
It's fabulous. Everyone should go check it out. Store.hammerandnigel.com. Store.hammerandnigel.com. It's
You can
right
just go
there.
into Google and type in Hammer and Nigel store too, and it should bring it up.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of an old man way of telling people to do things now, right? You're right. The new way for the kids would be just Google Hammer and Nigel store, and
Correct.
it'll pop up.
How would you describe the shirt?
It's got a funny slogan. I don't want to give too much away because I want people to go see it.
No, it's okay. We can.
It says, "This is my..." Oh, the whole thing.
Sure.
Okay. It says, "This is my scary Halloween shirt," and it's a headshot of Hillary Clinton.
Casey just saw it, didn't you?
I did just see it. That's a good one.
This is the
I like
perfect
it.
shirt for the month of October. If you want to wear it to pass out candy at home, if you've got a fun Halloween party you want to go to, if you just want to tick off the libs in your family, get this shirt now. Man, this thing's going to sell quickly. So store.hammerandnigel.com or just Google Hammer and Nigel store and grab your "This is my scary Halloween" shirt with that big, awful grin of Hillary Clinton's face.
And that's what you would greet the children with.
That's it.
As you open your door.
I like that you have a ladies' cut shirt. So many times, get the T-shirt, and it's a big boxy dude shirt. It just
Right.
doesn't look as good. You guys have a nice one.
We have tank
for-
tops as
for
well.
women. Yes.
The hoodies will be coming back once we eventually get some fall weather here. It's going to be another warm week. But, yeah, man, we're loaded. We've got a new partner that the store we work with. They get this stuff in and out. You get your products so much faster. And I think maybe we need to have some new Rob Kendall shirts.
Yeah, I'm really pressing for the Dirty Diego T-shirt. And if the Hillary Clinton one does well, maybe we can get a Dirty Diego Morales T-shirt.
With his face on there?
Yeah, I mean, I would single-handedly keep you guys in business just ordering those and sending them out to people.
Do we need a fresher version, a more fresh version, rather, of the I Hate Rob Kendalls?
Now, you're pushing for the, like a Rob Kendall Brownsburg jersey to be sold.
I thought that'd be a fun pro Rob Kendall shirt, like the Brownsburg-style football jersey, and then just a classic Rob Kendall sucks.
I agree. Yeah, I'm down with all of it. Whatever you need, all my money goes to charity. So I'll be the butt of any joke for a good cause. So hey, today 3:00, Coach's Tavern.
Get your butts to Coach's Tavern. We're gonna have some long drinks. We're gonna have some beers, and man, gonna be a lot of energy. Let's go.
Thanks, Hammer. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Why do so many foundation, basement, and crawl space companies ask for half your money up front? Could it be because that's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they believe trust is earned, not demanded. That's why they do things differently. They start with a free inspection, no strings attached, to give you an honest assessment of what your home needs. No pressure, no surprises. When it's time for the work, they don't ask for a deposit or any upfront payment. Not a single dollar until the job is complete and you're 100% satisfied. That's how they've been earning trust for over 39 years. Whether it's sagging floors, moisture control, concrete repair, or a full crawl space encapsulation, you can count on Michaelis for repairs that last. Don't trust just anyone with your home. Choose the company that puts your trust first. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY today. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation, building trust beneath your feet.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code USA to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code USA to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code USA.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory on West Minnesota Street. The best dealers in the region, hundreds of tables, just $6 for adults, kids 12 and under free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory. For more info, visit CentralIndianaGunShows.com.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Up to 50% off and 2.99% financing, plus receive an additional $550 off your project.
Because at B Windows,
we mean business. We mean business.
In 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, an update to the progress on the new Signia Hotel in downtown Indy. What local leaders said about it this morning. What an audit discovered about how a state agency handled its finances. And the fire that damaged apartments on the west side and injured over a dozen early this morning. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
A no vote would mean no end to the government shutdown. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and that vote will come later today at the Senate.
We're watching for Democratic defections today. Republicans are daring Democrats to block another attempt to pass a temporary spending bill. It's about the math. The GOP needs 5 Democrats to hit 60 votes and break a filibuster.
Fox's Chad Pergam at the Capitol. Democrats demand provisions to the bill to restore cuts made earlier this year to health care and other programs, denying Republican claims they're trying to give coverage to illegal immigrants. As the protests against immigration raids rage on near Chicago, where Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is visiting an ICE facility today, Fox's Garrett Tenney is there in Broadview, Illinois.
Hundreds of activists showing up, and just minutes ago, Border Patrol agents came out, had some kind of conversation with police in the sheriff's department, and they have been asked to all put on gas masks. So it appears something is imminently about to happen.
A dozen arrests have been reported this morning. President Trump just posted a deadline for Hamas to agree to his ceasefire plan for Gaza that Israel's already accepted. Writing on Truth Social, Hamas must comply by 6 p.m. Eastern Sunday, or all hell will break out against them. Under the Trump plan, Hamas must release the rest of the hostages.
I am eternally grateful to President Trump for saving my life.
Keith Siegel was one of the hostages set free earlier this year, telling Fox,
I was threatened. They threatened to kill me. I saw a woman being tortured, literally. I knew about the 6 hostages that were murdered in a tunnel by Hamas terrorists.
Sean Diddy Combs' sentencing hearings underway in New York. The hip-hop singer and producer asking the judge for leniency on 2 prostitution-related convictions from Combs' sex scandal.
The judge just told the defense team he'll allow Diddy's children to speak. Well, we're also expecting to see this nearly 12-minute-long video showing Diddy in and out of the spotlight over the years. It's compiled like a campaign ad.
Fox's CB Cotton outside the federal court. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's changing the skyline. Sunny and 75 in Indianapolis. The high today, 86. Sunny skies much of the day today, heading into the weekend. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:02. The topping off ceremony for the new Signia Hotel in downtown Indy happening this morning. The 38-floor hotel will have 800 rooms and plenty of meeting space.
This project builds on Indianapolis's reputation as a top destination for meetings and events.
That's General Manager of Signia by Hilton Indianapolis, Kathy Hennigan. Mayor Joe Hogsett was also there.
Our city will boast over 5,200 connected hotel rooms, the most of any convention center in the entire country.
Completion of the hotel is expected next fall. Auditors flagging more than 30 instances where officials or board members with the Indiana Economic Development Corporation had potential financial conflicts with outside organizations that received taxpayer funding. Although just one of those cases was formally reported to the State Ethics Commission, one case involved a former executive tied to a $17.5 million contract. Indiana Governor Mike Braun says the IEDC has to be more transparent with its funds.
My focus is on solutions, and we're fixing these issues to get better results for Hoosiers.
Documents also show the IEDC sent out more than $1.4 billion from 2022 to the end of last year. More than a dozen people are out of a home as a fire took over an apartment complex on Indy's west side early this morning. Wayne Township Fire Captain Eric Bannister details the injuries.
2 children and 1 adult sustained injuries. 2 were transported. 1 adult and 1 child were transported for observation.
He said some people inside the complex had to jump from the second story to get out. What caused the blaze is under investigation. Major League Baseball has now passed the wild card round. The Cubs beat the Padres on Thursday 3-1 to advance to the National League Division Series. They will now face off with the Milwaukee Brewers. That series starting on Saturday, as will the series between the Phillies and the Dodgers. Tomorrow's college football action, number 21 Notre Dame is home to battle Boise State. Ball State will be at home as well to take on Ohio, and Purdue hosts 22nd ranked Illinois. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair Indy has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Hey, it's Rob, and I knew I picked the right team when I needed a Hail Mary for my hair. I called We Grow Hair Indy. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game at We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com, or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Enjoy being out and about this fall. Enjoy watching the games in person with your friends with confidence you haven't had in years. And you can do it with a trip to We Grow Hair Indy. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
This hour powered by Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, your independent American Standard Air dealer.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
There's just so much rotten stuff in this thing. I feel like we could do a whole 3-hour show on it and not even scratch the surface.
We could. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC. Of course, we're spending a lot of time talking about that 127-page audit, which was conducted by FTI Consulting in regards to the Indiana Economic Development Corporation.
And, we've talked about it throughout the course of the day today, but the real sort of takeaway in all of this is that you, the taxpayer, hardworking, most cases middle-class individual, had your liberty and freedom, because that's what work is. Somebody told me this years ago, and it's absolutely true. Money is what you get for giving up your liberty and freedom. Never forget that. That's what your paycheck is. Money is giving up your liberty and freedom because you give that up to go to work each day. You give up your time to do as you would like to go earn that money. And so essentially the government takes away, when they take taxes, they are taking your liberty and freedom. They're taking that from you. And look, I'm a person who understands that there's a price to live in a decent society. We're way overpriced and society ain't all that decent. But I'm not a person who believes there should never be any sort of taxes. But let's face it, that's what they're doing. They're taking your liberty and freedom. And what this IEDC audit, not that we didn't know any of this to begin with, it's come out in various publications over time, is that they took this money from you, your liberty and freedom, and they used it, in many cases, for the interest, both personal and professional, of the people who were running that operation. Whether it was trips to foreign countries, tickets to sporting events, hundreds of millions of dollars going to groups and ideas that either directly or indirectly were benefiting many of the people making the decisions, and just very nonchalant in the way this multi-billion-dollar thing was being run. Oh, there were 30 conflicts of interest and people didn't fill out the forms. Oh, well, we'll try to do better next time. Oh, we had all these little groups and subcommittees and this and that made it basically impossible for any normal person to understand where the money was going. Oh, yeah, we should probably do better than that the next time. Hey, nobody's actually going to pay any sort of price for any of this. Nobody's going to get in any actual trouble. Nobody's going to have to pay any money back. Nobody's risking some sort of criminal charge. The money's gone, and it mostly went to things that these people liked or wanted or were benefited from. But we'll do better next time.
Mostly went for land purchase. 6,345 acres at the cost of $475 million.
Yeah.
Strong arming Hoosiers.
And when you come back to the state telling you in this most recent budget that there was no money to fund what they claim are essential services without raising taxes by $1 billion, yet, as you said, Casey, in just a 3-year time period, because that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the length of the IEDC. We're talking about the history. We're talking about 22 to 24. So in 3 years, they spent over $400 million to buy land to benefit mega corporations. We're led to believe that Lilly couldn't construct a basic real estate deal. Hey, I'd like to put Lilly there. Yeah, it costs how much? Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
Right.
We're Eli Lilly, the largest drug manufacturer in the world, with the last time we checked the market cap, $800 billion.
Right.
They can't do that.
Right.
Bull. Nobody believes that for a second.
They need Hoosiers money to get that done.
So what this is you're getting screwed, your money's getting taken, and it's given to this shady, unethical, corrupt, underhanded, glorified, legalized money laundering operation to benefit politicians and employees and office holders and powerful mega donors to said at the expense of you.
Now, you had mentioned something earlier. Nobody in the Republican Party has said anything about this. Let's just take a look really quick.
Yeah, make sure nobody said anything.
I'm just going to scan Governor Mike Braun's X account. Here he is doing a groundbreaking in Gary.
Oh.
He's at Kircher's Sunshine Orchards up in Goshen. I've been there. It's a very nice place.
Yes.
Little group photo there.
How many days back are you now?
Let's see. This was 19 hours ago.
Okay, so the IEDC report has been out that long now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here he is touting the accomplishments of the Indiana State Police so far. There's a picture of him and Maureen Braun down at Brown County State Park. So nothing. Now,
wait. I want to pause for a second on that. So you're telling me the governor, who was so concerned about the IEDC that he spent $800,000 of our money to do this forensic audit, that individual hasn't said a word since this report came out?
I do have a quote from the Indiana Capitol Chronicle. He said, "The results are clear and this matter is resolved." We're forward focused.
So when he says this matter is resolved, he means we got the audit. It said everything that Rob and Casey have been saying, well, for years now, which is this is a corrupt, rotten, underhanded, crony capitalist, glorified money laundering operation in which everybody got screwed so that these people, these politicians, these government officials, these connected donors, etc., could have all sorts of stuff. That's in the past. It's all behind us now.
It's resolved. We're moving forward. I saw another news stat that we hadn't really talked about much.
Doesn't that infuriate you? That
yeah,
quote?
I mean, he's like, it's done. We're making some changes. What are they going to change? Well, there's this new conflict of interest check, which should have been in place from the beginning.
Now, keep in mind, I know we talked about this earlier. The conflict of interest thing should enrage everyone because as a local government official, city council, town council, county commissioner, or whatever, if you're voting on something where you have a financial stake in the outcome, you are not only obligated to fill out a form, it's called a conflict of interest form, where you divulge that to the public, but you're supposed to recuse yourself from voting on the issue, because you're not supposed to be a part of any of the negotiations, anything. That's why you fill the form out. You say, hey, I work for this company. The town's considering bringing them to our community. I'm out of this. That way that we can track. Hey, you're not involved in the behind the scenes, pushing people.
You're not going
whatever.
to gain anything from voting on this.
Right, exactly. And if you don't, you could go prison.
Mm-hmm.
But these people, it's documented 30 times in this audit that this stuff happened.
Right.
And conflicts of interest and nothing. We've moved on.
Well, now they're going to put those checks in place. They're also going to have a formal investment policy introduced. All of the board votes must now occur in full board meetings, not just smaller committees. Everybody's got to be there now.
So the other thing that is fascinating about this report is that it really puts some sunlight on what a clueless, inept goof Eric Holcomb was. Because we have told you for years on this program, he had no idea what he was doing as governor. He wasn't interested in getting into the nitty-gritty on being governor. He, much like his predecessor, Mike Pence, was simply interested in going to events, ribbon cutting, sitting on camels in foreign countries, whatever it might have been, palling around at the World Economic Forum with globalist, leftist, rotten individuals like himself, or going to climate change conferences through the United Nations, or whatever it might have been. And as a result, because and I told you this when Holcomb was leaving, I think I said this on the air, that I had a conversation with a very connected person in the Holcomb administration, and they said, or person connected to the Holcomb administration, and they said, oh yeah, that was like the running joke in the State House. This guy didn't know his head from his ass, and he wasn't interested in doing anything other than playing governor, and so we just got to do whatever we wanted to do. And it's playing out in this report. And it played out during COVID, when he destroyed our state, when he shut the state down, when he put a million people out of work, when he closed tens of thousands of businesses, when he met with the domestic terrorists but told you you're a human petri dish.
Some of the Holcomb greatest hits, the same guy who told you you were a human petri dish, had the meet and greet with Malik Mohammed. You were told it wouldn't serve Hoosiers well for you to know the truth on things.
Yes.
This is the same guy that used your tax dollars and spent $200,000 in airfare for that trip to Egypt for that climate conference in 22. $200,000 in airfare. Now, I just did a little quick search on airfare from Indianapolis to Cairo.
Egypt.
Correct.
That's where he was on the camel in front of the pyramids. Yeah.
And the price ranges from $883 to $1,700.
It's a lot of trips. You make a lot of those trips. How many do you make? Like 100?
Right. And then I thought, okay, well, hotel. For a week in February, I believe that conference he went to was in February. It was $1,700 for a hotel. So altogether, we're talking $3,500. Why did he need $200,000 to do that? How many people were going with him?
Right. This is now you're never going to know. This is exactly what we told you, that Braun would just swipe it under the rug and move on. Just like he's doing the same thing with the property taxes. This is like these people, and it's easy for us to dump on Holcomb, but really it lies in the Republican General Assembly, because whether it was doing nothing during COVID or doing nothing about any of the stuff with the IEDC, ultimately we have a very weak Republican governor in terms of dealing with the legislature. Legislature holds all the cards and set all the parameters by which the governor has to operate. They allowed this. They are joined at the hip. The Indiana Republican Party is joined with all of the Holcomb garbage. They're joined with all of the disgraceful behavior from Eric Holcomb. You cannot separate them. You cannot separate. In the beginning, it was Brian Bosma and David Long, and then it became Todd Houston and Rod Bray and all the rank and file minions that time and again, whether it was raising taxes or shutting down the state or this crony capitalist bullcrap, did absolutely nothing, and they propped it up. That is who is ultimately responsible for Eric Holcomb, is the Republican Party and the Indiana General Assembly. That is who enabled this to happen.
I'm still curious how Eric Holcomb sitting on a camel was contributing to economic development in the state of Indiana. Where is the return on investment for that? You know what will bring business to Indiana? Deregulation.
But it's the broader question of what have we gotten for any of this money?
Right.
if the money has been spent so wisely, why have our taxes never been higher?
You know, do you remember when they said, "Oh, we're $1 billion short. We need to raise taxes"?
Yes, like a few months ago.
Found it.
Yes. You did. You finded it, Casey.
Found it. 1.4. Found it. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
He said that shutdowns are idiocy.
93 WIBC.
People pay taxes. They expect services.
They pulled more bodies from the rubble of a school that collapsed.
2 jumps from the 2nd floor.
Stay in the know.
Several officers are on administrative leave
while you're on the go.
Our officers were out here doing exactly what we asked them to do.
That's when one officer fired their gun, hitting the suspect.
A man rammed a car into worshipers outside.
Ongoing attacks by these designated terrorist organizations.
On air, online, and on Alexa.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 in the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations. In the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35. West 86th Street and Michigan Road. And the second location in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Get there before the truck is gone.
Fall is here, and if that means it's time for new flooring in your home, then Brothers Floor Covering is ready to help. Brand new carpet, hardwoods, laminates, and luxury vinyl plank in stock now. Plus, Brothers Floor Covering can get your new flooring installed in as little as a few weeks. Visit Brothers Floor Covering today at their new location, 8550 Michigan Road. Discover why buying local means receiving more, not paying more. Get the flooring of your dreams installed now. Stop in today or visit brothers-floorcovering.com.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Up to 50% off and 2.99% financing, plus receive an additional $550 off your project.
Because at B Windows,
we mean business. We mean business.
Casey, do you ever sit around and think to yourself that other than people who listen to this radio station, that maybe nobody has any idea what's going on out there?
I don't only think it, but I know it. Having conversations with some friends, and they're like, huh? And I think, am I not normal anymore? Is nobody paying attention?
Well, you know, I told you when you took this job, I said...
The Great Awakening?
Well, once you see it, then you can't unsee it.
I know.
And if I had to suffer through this...
You've got company finally.
Then my goal is to make as many people suffer through it. It's like the movie They Live with Roddy Piper, where he puts those glasses on. And anyway, there's a poll out about the shutdown and who Americans are blaming for the shutdown. Now, this does not surprise me, but I am fascinated that we keep getting put on full display how just completely uninformed the public at large is. Would you like to read the results of the poll for our audience?
Sure. This is in regards to the government shutdown. The poll says 47% of Americans blame President Trump and Republicans in Congress for the shutdown. 30% blame Democrats.
Okay. So by a fairly wide margin. Did it say who the poll was? I forget who
That's
it was.
what I was just looking up, really.
Like The Hill had an article
quick.
about it and some other people. Yeah, maybe it was the Washington Post. I think it was the Washington Post. That sounds right. I read that article yesterday and sent it over to you. That I think that is correct. Anyway, doesn't matter. Point is, I totally believe that's where it's at because again, let's review what the shutdown is. The Republicans approved most of the Biden spend. So Biden's president, does such a horrible job he can't even run for president again. Trump runs essentially against Biden, even though it's Kamala, and he's like, hey, I'm going to fix the issues, which are the two things are the border and inflation. Cost of living, border. Everybody says, okay, sign us up for that. Sweeps all the swing states. Then the Republicans get in there. So you'd think if you voted for Trump, you're signing up for, and again, the Republicans lied again like they always do, limited government. We got to stop spending money. We got to reform government programs. We got to cut this. We got to cut that. We got to get the spending under control. Like, I thought that was kind of a thing, right? Now, they never followed through, but I thought that was the thing they ran on. But the Republicans, they don't cut any government, really, of note. They just basically passed the Biden spending levels. I mean, they tinkered on a few things, some of the green energy credits in the BBB, et cetera. But for the most part, it's pretty much Biden running the country. And they pass a bill that continues to do that. And then people are like, no, I don't want that. But they ran on cutting the government. They're not even cutting the government, but you're mad that that they're doing too many restrictions because the little government they are cutting, you don't want that. And so you're mad about that. And this is what I'm saying. Like, none of it makes any sense, Casey.
No.
None of it makes any sense.
66% of the respondents say that they're very or somewhat concerned about the shutdown.
Well, that shows you who's taking the poll then, because why would you be, unless you are a government worker, which many, many people are government workers these days, why would you be remotely concerned about this? Because, Casey, third day.
I was just going to say, day 3, and what? To let somebody go in the federal government, you have to give them a 60-day notice?
Is that true?
I believe so.
You can't just fire someone? You're out of here?
You got to give them a notice, I believe. 60 days is it. So many people are saying it's 61 days. That's when these furloughs will become permanent. So
yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Will they stretch it out to 61 days?
Well, but the point of all this is the Democrats are arguing for more government. People just conceivably they wanted less government by voting for Trump and to put the Republicans in charge. And yet now they're mad at the Republicans, even though the Democrats want more government. Now, the Republicans don't want any less government, which is what they were elected to do, but they're the bad guys for wanting less government than the Democrats. Did I lay that out properly? I mean, it's very confusing. It's very confusing. And this is people just don't have any idea what's going on, and this is why our country's in the shape it's in. And if you were to ask those people, it would have been interesting to see if there was a follow-up question. Why? Now, I realize you got to fit poll questions into boxes so you can have results, but why? You blame the Republicans because why? They're not doing.
They don't like the memes.
Yeah, you're not doing what that you wanted them to do that they're not doing. Now, the crazy part of all of this is the Democrats are going to end up winning because they're going to get what they want, which is the Obamacare subsidies to continue. Whether it's if I were Johnson or I were Thune or I were Trump and I actually cared about getting the country back on track, which, look, let's not kid ourselves. Your choices now are bad or worse in this country. And the Republicans don't care about your finances or being able to afford life. But if you actually did, what I would look at Schumer and I would look at Jeffries, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, the head Democrat in the Senate, and Hakeem Jeffries, the head Democrat in the House. And I would say, okay, well, we were going to consider taking up something with Obamacare subsidies, but not now.
Right.
You're done. You've talked your way out of it. But what the Republicans are going to do, you watch, Casey. It is 11/26 on October the 3rd, 2025. Sometime in the near future, there will be an announcement made that a certain number of Republicans have agreed to cross the aisle and guarantee a vote on the continuation of Obamacare subsidies with the Democrats in exchange for the government reopening.
Yes.
You watch, as sure as we're sitting here right now, that will be the thing that comes to fruition, and people will keep getting screwed, and insurance will remain unaffordable, and everything will just be a giant giveaway to the insurance companies, and no government will get cut. And then somehow, after all that happens, people will still be mad at me for talking about what actually happened.
Well, Jeffries, he says that it's the Republicans who intended to cause the shutdown. They did it on purpose. He's calling it the Republican healthcare crisis. Meanwhile, the Senate Majority Leader Thune, he said that he believes there are some Democrats that are looking for a way out of the impasse. So
sure, they are, because the Democrats want government. They want the government to be as big as it possibly can. They know the Republicans are weak. They almost always give in on this sort of stuff. The Republicans are just as invested in continuing the legalized vote buying on all levels as the Democrats are. And so they know the Republicans won't hold out forever. The Republicans have donors and lobbyists and key constituencies that they've got to make happy. And so that will be the deal that will be struck. Nothing will get any better. Nothing will get smaller. Nothing will get more efficient. And the Republicans will once again prove themselves to be pathological liars after 15 years of talking about getting rid of Obamacare. They have it right now. All they have to do is nothing. Obamacare cannot exist without the subsidies. Literally, if the Republicans do nothing, they will fulfill a promise they have made for 15 years, which is for Obamacare to go away. They don't have to do a darn thing. Just do nothing. And yet they will jump through every hoop in front of them to get to the point where they keep those Obamacare subsidies going, because they need the legalized vote buying. They need to take money from other people and give it to someone who didn't earn it, and they need to prop up their big insurance lobby donors. That's exactly what they need to do.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off or schedule a pickup, and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Topping off the new hotel. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:30. A new 38-story Signia by Hilton Hotel in Indianapolis is close to being completed. At a ceremony this morning, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett discussed how proud he is of the work everyone's done on it.
Our city will boast over 5,200 connected hotel rooms, the most of any convention center in the entire country.
The estimated completion date is the fall of next year. An audit into the Indiana Economic Development Corporation is showing a need for more oversight. The audit also found that 30 entities received funds in which an IEDC board member or employee had a potential conflict of interest. Indianapolis fire crews say 16 people are without a home after a fire tore through their West Side apartment complex early this morning, and an explosive device is found on a dead body at the Marion County Coroner's Office today. The building had to be evacuated. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Hey, ladies, are you interested in self-protection but don't know where to begin, or maybe you're too nervous to enter the gun store alone? Well, let me introduce you to Premier Arms. They're more than just a gun store. Premier Arms is a supportive community dedicated to empowering women. They have a friendly, educated staff, and they'll provide personalized guidance, ensuring you feel confident in your firearm choice. It's Casey Daniels letting you know Premier Arms is where female gun owners are supported. Call them today, 317-858-3030.
Fall is in full swing at Wilson Farm Market. Bright mums, pumpkins, and gourds are waiting to bring color to your porch and table. Enjoy a fresh apple cider slush or Wilson's famous peach cider slush. The taste of fall in every sip. Inside, the ovens are busy with breads, pies, and treats you'll smell the moment you walk in. Hungry yet? Grab some crispy fried chicken or stop by the deli, salad bar, and cheese counter for easy meals to take home. Wilson Farm Market, right off US 31, just north of Westfield. Your fall favorites all in one stop.
Don Fisher for QC Kinetics. I was struggling with chronic knee pain and wasn't encouraged with the options of risky surgery and pain pills. QC Kinetics offered the best option for me, cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Their non-invasive treatment stimulated my body's own biologics so I could be pain-free and get back to doing what I love, playing golf. QC Kinetics has a fantastic success rate, and it's clear to see why so many Hoosiers are happy to tell their story of how they reclaimed their lives with the QC Kinetics approach. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to qckinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. QC Kinetics uses the latest technologies, whether it's stem cell, PRP, plasma, or a number of other advanced therapies. Call QC Kinetics. It'll be the best call you will make. Get back in the game, whatever that is for you. Call 317-559-PAIN.
At Price Point Comfort, we promise you'll never be sold something you don't need. Call us at 317-455-1124 or see us at PricePointComfort.com.
Price Point Comfort is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air dealer.
End of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it.
Okay, I can't take any more negativity. I got to tell you about this. We were going to do another topic. I was like, I can't do any more negativity. It's Friday. It's Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, so I tell you about my new hobby, and you tell me if I'm a total weirdo or if this is actually interesting.
Okay, what do you have?
So my new thing is to go on people's Facebook pages, and because of the way Facebook is set up, it's relatively easy to do. The way their photos, they've organized the photos now, and my new thing that I am enthralled with is going to the profiles picture section.
Okay.
And if they've had their Facebook page for any length of time, starting at the bottom, seeing what that date is, and then seeing how people have aged over time.
Oh, right.
Is that interesting?
How
or is that
often they've updated their profile?
Yeah, so you can see, like, let's say, you could go look at mine, and you could basically see 20 years of my life, and you can say, how is Rob, aged?
Right.
And I'm fascinated with this to see, one, how cameras have improved. Depending on how long somebody's had the Facebook for, you can really, really see it. I mean, you were doing them like on flip phones and stuff and disposable cameras when it started. But I am very interested to see how in some cases, people have had it 15 years, some it's 20 years.
Right.
And in, like 5 minutes of your time, you can basically see, whether they've had kids, how did they age after they had kids. It's just this real...
The weight gain, the weight loss.
Yeah, the real-time rolling,
the receding hairline.
Because one of the things that, is fascinating to me is photographs, like physical photographs, are more and more becoming a thing of the past, and the value of the physical photograph. Like, for people my parents' generation... If that photograph got lost, then the thing just ceased to exist.
Right.
Now, it's on social media. It's on your phone. If you've got some sort of backup system, it's there. You have 5 or 6 different ways you can always find whatever that thing was. And sort of the special nature of it kind of evaporates and goes away because you can get it so many places.
Right.
Whereas, even 20 years ago or 15 years ago, if you lost a photograph, that was it. That thing just poof went up into the ether, and it's like it never happened.
Do you ever do this? I'll do this often. Somebody will say, like, when did that happen? And I don't remember, but I can go back in my old Facebook feed and that was June of 2013.
Yeah.
Because it's right there. When were you born? Do you go back and see like your born date on Facebook? The date you started the account?
Oh, when I started it, it reminds you. Now, I remember the build-up to Facebook because it was only for college kids. Right. And I distinctly, look, I wasn't always the person I am today, Casey. And my
growth,
mind and priorities operated in different ways. But I remember, this is how vividly I remember this. I remember the girl's house I was at, engaging in various social interactions with in 2005, and her showing me, you got to check this thing out, and showing me, because this person went to, the way Facebook worked in the beginning is you had to have a college email.
Right.
And they only let certain colleges in at a time. It wasn't like they just opened the floodgates. And so it was a big deal
when your college was on the list.
And this person went to a much more prestigious university than I was attending, and she had the Facebook. And I remember her showing me the Facebook, and my initial thought was, don't comment on how hot the chicks are. Don't comment on how hot the chicks are. Don't comment. And it was like all of these college girls, of me being a college guy at the time, were readily available to have social interaction with. And all I have to do is get on this thing. Yeah, but you got to have a college email. I have a college email.
I'm good.
Not the right one. Well, what is the right one?
Yeah.
And then, they finally, over time, when it became I really feel like when the movie came out is when Facebook started declining, because they more and more started letting everybody on. And within a few years, it was just...
You liked it better when it was a little more selective? Well, you're not college age anymore, though.
Well, but of course not. And I have aged out of that portion of my, existence. But now, thanks to Facebook and the way they've simplified the photos, friends or whatever you can look at and say, wow, they were doing pretty strong until about 2014. And
something happened.
took a turn for the worse.
What was going on there?
Does that make me a weirdo, or is that actually interesting? You can say whatever.
I think that's, you passing your time like that, sitting on the couch, got the TV going.
And it's like a flip book.
Right. You're scrolling through other people's memories.
Yeah, it's like an interactive flip book.
Did you do yourself? Did you look at how you have changed over the years?
I haven't really changed.
You have updated your profile pic.
I have. I will send you, I guess, what would be
your very first
I'll send
one.
this to you if you filibuster here for a minute.
Yeah.
And you can tell me if you think I've changed all that.
It doesn't work for those people who don't use a picture of themselves as their profile.
Oh,
pic.
yeah. No. I mean, it's got to be, and there's a lot of people, it's kind of funny, too, to go through there and see things different people were into at various times, and the different, whatevers they did and what their priorities were. And
Kodak, they're still around, introducing a Smile and digital instant print camera. It prints 2x3 color images. It's Bluetooth enabled, so it's like the Polaroid, right? Only it's the new version. Did you find it?
I found several of them. Here, I'll send you an early one. See what you think.
Now, were you just going through your female friends list, or
no,
were you doing everybody?
No, Casey. I'm a happily married person.
I just asking.
I was going through.
Want to know what's going on over there?
A wide variety of people, and
what made you decide to do that? Was there a catalyst for that? You were just like
boredom one day.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, something happened, and I was like, I know what it was. It was actually, I had a friend. It wasn't like we hung out at the Bellagio together, but somebody I grew up with, went to high school with, recently passed away. And I thought it would be, very young, obviously. I'm saving this. And I thought, well, that would be interesting to sort of see their life, because I knew much about their life. It'd be interesting to see what they prioritized in their life from their profile photos. And then I started looking at that. Well, this is actually very interesting. I wonder what other people's look like. And then I got down the rabbit hole, and the next thing I knew, it was like 4 hours was gone.
You were doing it nonstop. Did you send me your
No,
pic?
I haven't sent it yet.
Okay, you're trying to save your picture and send it over
I'm trying to do all of it.
You probably haven't changed. There's got to be a year or two there where before the We Grow Hair Indie deal, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, I got all sorts of pictures here. I'll send it to you. This is from 2007.
Whenever you say that you haven't changed, it always reminds me of that Seinfeld episode where he scratches out the size of his jeans to make it say that he's wearing the same size that he always did.
All right. I just sent it to you. You tell me what you
Okay.
Tell me what you think.
Here we go.
So that'd be 18 years ago.
Look at you. You're wearing that's a Bears jersey.
Yeah.
54. Who was number?
That was Brian Urlacher.
Okay.
So the rule on the jerseys is you can wear another man's name on the back if it was a childhood hero.
Yeah.
And so Urlacher was playing in the NFL when I was a kid.
You are rocking a man spread there, aren't you? Sitting on leather couch. Do you know where? I mean, can you remember where you are in this picture?
I know exactly where I am.
Okay.
My house.
Okay. Yeah. So you're sitting there on a leather couch, doing the man spread for sure, wearing a Brian Urlacher shirt, holding a football. You must have been watching a football game. What made you decide?
I was watching a Bears game, Casey.
Okay, makes sense. Hence the jersey. Your hair's so curly in this picture.
Yeah.
It's a little longer and curly. You do look pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Though.
Everybody's so different. I haven't changed.
Mm-hmm.
Youthful beauty.
What
Genes.
was it that made you?
Me and Sydney Sweeney.
You're setting up your Facebook account.
Yeah.
What made you pick this picture? And you're right.
It was.
You can really tell how cameras have gotten so much better because it's a little fuzzy.
Well, that is not the original picture. Now, full disclosure, when I ran for public office, I cleaned.
Yeah, you had to scrub your social media. That makes sense.
Not that I was out committing any sort of felonious action, but just a few that I thought.
Yeah, might be questioned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still got them hidden somewhere, I think. I'll find them someday. And there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing like, oh, you would be so embarrassed if that came out. But it's like, why give the other side a freebie?
Mm-hmm.
But that was 18 years ago, so that was not the original, but it's one of the first, 5 or 6 probably. Admit it.
I'm trying to see if I can find
Admit it, you would have totally dated me in your 20s.
You're like my little brother.
No, but I'm saying that version of me, if we were the same age, I would have been 20 years older, 21 or whatever it was.
If I was 20, you would have been 6, dude.
I'm saying if we were the same age and we somehow could have morphed. When were you 20? In the 70s?
In 1990 is when I hit 20.
Okay. So let's say 1992 version of you and 2007 version of me.
That's how we have to do it, right? Oh, no.
What's your first picture?
I'm trying to find it. I had brown hair. Brown hair.
You're like the fugitive.
You didn't think this is natural blonde, did you? Come on. That's why the trust in media is sinking. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
We are broadcasting the Hammer and Nigel Show live from Coach's Tavern, downtown, just diagonal from the Field House, presented by the Finnish Long Drink. We want to see all of you there.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 in the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations. In the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35. West 86th Street and Michigan Road. And the second location in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Get there before the truck is gone.
Hey guys, it's Rob. If you got kids in grades 6 through 12, listen to this. There's a big event going on tomorrow set up for them. It's Life Church's 4th annual Truth Conference, and it's a weekend just for teens with 3 main sessions, including live worship, breakout sessions where they can ask tough questions about God, the Bible, culture, and relationships. It's also going to have great food, amazing prizes, fun games, free arcade, and coffee bar. And, a lot of young people, especially Gen Z, more open than ever to the idea of faith. Take advantage of it. Learn all about the 4th Annual Truth Conference by logging onto the web, lifechurchin.com.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify. There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay, and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. so you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Head online to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra Thursday, December 4th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Let's call the bouncer, shuts the door. This magic moment drifts across the floor as Benny King's voice fills the air. Baby, that's the power of prayer.
Casey, this is our last segment together this week.
Yes.
I hope you've had as much fun as I have.
I've had so much fun.
Probably because you had one whole day where you didn't have to deal with me. Probably why you had so much fun this week.
Oh, you mean beginning of the week,
yeah,
on
that's
Monday.
right. You only had to deal with me for 4 days.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but as we wrap up this week, our time together, both you and me and us and the audience,
Mm-hmm.
you ever wonder how all this ends?
Well, it's interesting you say that because I think the biggest thing that we've learned this week is that businesses will come with deregulation, and they're just passing these tax breaks onto Hoosiers, and that's where the issue is. Does Eric Holcomb going and sitting on a camel, what economic development came from that? What did that do for me as a taxpayer in this state?
Well, and you just hit the nail on the head. So obviously we spent much of our day today talking about this IEDC audit. It is exactly what we told you it was going to be. Exactly what is happening, which is nothing of any substance will happen. You threw away $800,000 to be told, hey, we need to really crack down on conflicts of interest and being more transparent. So, when you take this thing that we've spent a lot of our show talking about today, when you pair it up with how much money these statewide officials are spending of ours to travel, for what benefit, we don't really see any.
Right. Not even out of the state, out of the country in many cases.
And, it is a reminder that whatever you want to call it, and I think you can call it a variety of different things depending on what the specific circumstance is, the grift, the unethical behavior, the corruption, all of it is so massive that I got into this because I believed you can make a difference. Again, this whole thing, right? I was just some guy 15 years ago who owned a business, and it was like, man, I pay a lot of taxes. I should really probably
shine a light on it.
Yeah, I should do something about this, right?
Sure.
And naively believed, hey, we can really make a difference. We'll all hold hands and run together, right? And the more you get into it and the longer you're in it, the worse it seems to get. And I come back to, I think the lasting legacy of COVID is going to be that the politicians figured out we can do whatever the heck we want to do, and nobody's going to stop us. Because if they didn't stop us shutting down society and putting people out of work and costing them their businesses, what would they stop us on?
Well, now you know that the governor, Mike Braun, knows what he's dealing with. And it's going to be up to him to make a decision. Is this quasi-government group going to continue? And is he going to make real change? I mean, this whole, conflict of interest, that's not even what we're talking about. It's the huge, enormous amount of money going to select individuals who are lining their pockets with our money. And is it really bringing economic development like it's supposed to be to the state of Indiana?
So how do you beat the thing? That's the thing. And look, I think I touched on this earlier this week. I have really struggled with this the past few weeks,
which is like, I think you're always aware, I'm always aware from the peripheral, like how corrupt and rotten the system is. But on each thing you think, well, I can make a difference.
Right.
I can change. And then you kind of realize, even if you win some things,
you're not going to win it. You can win some battles, but not the war.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. I mean, I'd like to think that you could, but it seems like either everybody goes in there for the grift, or even the few people who don't go in for the grift, they
end up getting sucked in.
They get manipulated, corrupted, whatever word you want to say. Like, think of the Indiana General Assembly. I can think of maybe 5 people that I would say of the 150, and I'm talking this on both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're totally in it for the, maybe 10. We'll say 1 out of every 15, because I'll include the Democrats. There are some Democrats who I think are totally in it for the right reasons, even if I don't agree with them politically. But think about that. That's in the state of Indiana, which is supposedly a deep red Republican, conservative, whatever state. Now, we all know it's not, but at least on paper, that's what it is. Think about how bad it is in some of these other states, and then magnify that out to Washington, D.C.
Sure.
And after 15 years, I'm just sitting here going, am I just in the entertainment business?
Well, you're a broadcaster. That's the number one job for you.
Is that what I do now, though? Is that the number one job, is just to entertain? Because after 15 years of pushing back against this, it doesn't seem to get any better. It just seems to keep getting worse. And amazingly to me, the people refuse to, in a peaceful, law-abiding manner, rise up and say, enough of all of you fools. Enough of all of you clowns. Stop abusing us. Stop abusing our money. We're done here. And people just, they don't seem to do it in a at least in a volume that is large enough to make a difference.
I think that you have to look at some of the achievements that you have done, and that is bringing light to all of this. When you first started, everybody was on the white hat, black hat train, our side, your side. I think more people are waking up to the fact that this isn't a right or left issue. This is a up-down issue.
But if they won't do anything about it, right?
Well, that's the next step.
When I see the people go meet with the governor who know what's going on, and look, they're smart people. I can't believe they're naive enough to buy his bullcrap. And then they get he gets caught, the governor, in outright lies about the property tax thing, telling these people, oh, there's more coming. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then he, in a news conference, goes, everybody's pretty happy with the property tax bill. And yet they keep meeting with him. They keep posting their photos together.
Sure.
Then you have the people who go to these Lincoln Day dinners. They know exactly what these people are.
Proximity to power.
There's no pushback.
Well, it's either if you can't beat them, join them. So I think there's some people that are trying to join them.
Are we the last people who haven't joined them? Are we the last ones?
We might be. Are you saying you want to be a rich man north of Richmond?
Well, I left them. I guess I didn't even know what they were. You know, like I was part of a nefarious operation until I realized it was a nefarious operation, and then I left them. So I, in a semblance, have joined them. I turned state's evidence.
Sure.
But I just don't. I don't know. I mean, I hate. I feel like this is a Debbie Downer segment, but I'm always thinking about what's the next way to try to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do. I don't know.
What's the next step?
What is it?
The next step is to get a good night's sleep, take care of yourself, love your family, pray on it, and hopefully the answer will come to you over the weekend.
Well, prayer is always a good thing. I was hoping for something a little more
concrete.
But prayer is always wonderful. And with that,
I think that's a great place to start.
You can pray, hey, maybe I won't have to work with Rob on Monday.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for listening. Have a great weekend. This has been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Up to 50% off and 2.99% financing, plus receive an additional $550 off your project.
Because at B-Window,
we mean business. We mean business.
I'm Deidre Hall with a message about your eye health. My mother had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD, which means my family members are at greater risk.
I'm Dr. Sada of Doheny UCLA. AMD is the most common cause of severe, irreversible vision loss in older adults. If a healthcare professional suspects AMD, a retina specialist can confirm the diagnosis and work with you on a treatment plan.
Routine eye care can help maintain your vision. Visit geteyesmart.org for more information.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up, we're expecting another 1,500 to 2,000 by completion.
Pretty rapid spread. It is a little dry out here.
Fixing these issues to get better results for Hoosier.
And then, obviously everybody loves the wiener dog races.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
Quite the scare in Marion County. Partly cloudy and 80 degrees on Monument Circle. 85 is the high today. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 12 noon. An explosive device was found on a dead body at the Marion County Coroner's Office, and the building was evacuated this morning. Marion County Coroner Alfie McGinty says the bomb squad was called in and the device was removed. The body arrived at the coroner's office from an investigation that was going on in another county. McGinty does not think this was a targeted act of violence. Leaders from Indianapolis and construction pros from around the country were in town touring the new downtown hotel project. Ryan Hedrick reports.
What a celebration. It's an honor to be here, and truly it is remarkable to see just how far we've come.
That's Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett up on the second floor of what's soon to be a 50,000 square foot ballroom inside this 38-story Signia by Hilton Hotel.
A little over a year ago that we stood here on this site and watched as the construction team laid the foundation for this project.
Now this project just off of Georgia Street and Capitol Avenue, just steps away from the convention center, has already created thousands of Hoosier jobs. Bill Sewell is with AECon, the company leading the construction.
There's been about 2,300 different construction workers on the project so far to date. We're expecting another 1,500 to 2,000 by completion.
Reshaping the skyline and redefining Hoosier hospitality. That's what Kathy Hennigan, the general manager at this hotel, says this project is really all about.
This 800-room hotel will offer direct access to the convention center and Lucas Oil Stadium, making it a hub for both leisure and business travelers. Inside, guests will enjoy 7 distinct culinary concepts.
Reporting from the second floor of what soon will be a 38-story hotel opening next year in downtown Indianapolis, Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
An inmate died this morning just before 1 o'clock at the Marion County Adult Detention Center. His name is Frederick Bennett. He was 52 years old. Police are trying to figure out what caused Bennett to die. He had been held in the Marion County jail system 9 times since 2008. He was most recently arrested in January of this year on charges of armed robbery, theft with a prior conviction, and unlawful carrying of a handgun with a prior felony. A fire tore through several apartments early this morning near Rockville Road and Lyndhurst Drive, leaving multiple people without a place to live.
Pretty rapid spread. It is a little dry out here, but the way these apartments are set up, it's really kind of an uncommon scenario. We just don't see that kind of spread that rapidly.
Wayne Township Fire Captain Eric Bannister says several people jumped from the second floor to safety, and several others, including children, had to be taken to a hospital. The state of Indiana has released an audit that looks into the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Jarrett Lewis with that story.
Auditors flagging more than 30 instances where IEDC officials or board members had potential financial conflicts with outside organizations that received taxpayer funding, although just one of those cases was formally reported to the State Ethics Commission. One case involved a former executive tied to a $17.5 million contract. Indiana Governor Mike Braun says the IEDC has to be more transparent with its funds.
My focus is on solutions, and we're fixing these issues to get better results for Hoosiers.
Documents show the IEDC sent out more than $1.4 billion from 2022 to the end of 2024. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Democrat Representative Ed Delaney reacted to that report this morning. He says there's a lot that's not in it.
It does not tell us how much they made as a result of those conflicts. It doesn't tell us what agency failed to make them do their job.
He says it also would be nice to know more about who made excessive profits. Multiple agencies in Hamilton County helped arrest 2 men accused of committing crimes against children. Johnette Cruz reports.
The Hamilton County Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force arrested 2 men in separate investigations involving crimes against children. Michael Knighton of Indianapolis was arrested for 14 counts of possession of child pornography. A search of his home uncovered over 4,800 images and videos, with much of the material involving infants and young children. In a separate case, Cole Baker of Alexandria was arrested in Alabama and then extradited on a level 3 felony charge of promotion of child sexual trafficking. Detectives say Baker manipulated juvenile females via social media. The Hamilton County Metro ICAC Task Force is a collaboration between multiple agencies. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
IMPD officers responded to a home on the city's east side Thursday during an active investigation into a wanted man. IMPD Assistant Chief Michael Wally said no officers were hurt after one of them shot and injured the suspect while trying to take him into custody.
And I'm thankful our officers are okay. And I'm thankful that they show up every day and return to work despite the circumstances that they face. And they will continue to do the best job that they can.
Police say the suspect was initially cooperating with police, but at one point they say he reached for his waistband and tried to run. The man was wanted for unlawful possession of a firearm by a violent felon and robbery. This is a celebration of all things German. Terry Stacy reports.
The 17th annual German Fest is Saturday at the Athenaeum in downtown Indy.
The celebration isn't like a normal Oktoberfest. It is more of a celebration of German American Day. Totally family friendly. This year, the Wienermobile is going to be joining us. The largest sausage that you can have. And then, obviously, everybody loves the Wiener dog races.
Athenaeum Foundation President Craig Mintz says hours are noon to 6. Tickets at athenaeumindy.org. Terry Stacy, WIBC Mobile News.
And I'm John Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
This hour powered by Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, your independent American Standard Air dealer.
Live from the heartland and the crossroads of America, it's Tony Katz Today.
So there's a shutdown going on, and as we all know, it's the end of civilization. No, wait, it's day 3 or day 4 or day 906. I don't know. Everything's fine. Yeah, some people aren't getting paid. I hear you. I get it. I'm not saying no. What I'm telling you is, it's just not any cause at all in any way, shape, or form for panic. It never has been. There's no panic that can come from it. There's no anything else we should be doing except saying, okay. All right, this is the way it is. There's a shutdown, and we're all going to survive it. All of us. All at once. It's just that easy. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. I wish there was more of a kind of, oh my gosh, here's how important it is. I'm telling you, it's not. This is one shutdown that's going to then lead to us having this conversation on November 21st. November 21st. This all comes back. All of this, just a little bit of history repeating. Now, you're right in the chat room. The shutdown may not be much for us, but for Chuck Schumer, this could end his career. That is true. That is very, very true. It is bad news for Chuck Schumer because he misread all about it. I know that if I go and look at News Nation right there, for example, they will show me this headline. My gosh, what a headline. Trump administration could lay off thousands during shutdown. Oh, wait, that's a good thing. Oh, I'm down with that. What are you talking about? Laying off thousands, and they'll stay laid off, right? That'll be the story. They'll lose their jobs. We'll never have to bring them back. Or if we have to bring some people back, we get to bring back our people. This has been, of course, the conversation. That here you have this happening, and Democrats refuse to realize that they're the ones who are going to be out of the jobs. You know, it's that line from Rahm Emanuel that got quoted many times during the Obama years. Never let a crisis go to waste. You remember that line. People were outraged by that line. How disgusting, how despicable, how craven. But everyone always forgets what came next. Rahm Emanuel said, never let a crisis go to waste, because it allows you to do things you otherwise could not do. The point that I make there is that Rahm Emanuel was not interested in beating around the bushes. He was not playing around the edges. He said to you, everything is an opportunity to screw the other guy, and I'm going to screw that dude with his pants on. I'm going to screw that dude so bad you're going to think my name is Ron Jeremy. It's going to get rough up in here. That's what Rahm Emanuel said. Oh, I'm sorry if it's crude, but it's factual. This was made clear by Harry Reid, the late senator from Nevada, who deserves none of your respect. And the fact that an airport was named after him is despicable. They should immediately remove his name from the airport. This was a craven, despicable political guy. Nasty. Ugly. And I state to you that this is the guy who said of Mitt Romney when he was running for president, you know that Mitt Romney, he didn't even pay his taxes. And people said, I'm sorry, what? What are you talking about? Senator Reid, can you explain? You're saying that Mitt Romney didn't pay his taxes. What are you referring to? And Harry Reid said, don't ask me. Ask Mitt Romney. And years later, Harry Reid, older and frail, said, yeah, that probably wasn't the nicest thing to do, but we won, didn't we? Some lessons are very, very hard to forget. The level of hatred, the level of vitriol, the level of disgust, the uninterested that they are in being people who actually support America or the American way of life. No. Destroy, destroy, destroy. Never let a crisis go to waste. because it allows you to do things you otherwise could not do. And we won, didn't we? Is saying when there is no crisis, create one. You think I'm going to cry because some people are going to lose their jobs? I don't care. And I don't care because, see, this is the part they'll always cut out. Maybe we don't need all those jobs to begin with and no one is guaranteed a job. When I lose my job on radio, the total amount of people in government who are going to cry is 0. There's a progressive that's going to cry, oh my gosh, this radio host lost his job. Man, I heard that Tony Katz lost his job. Oh, gosh, that is rough. I really feel for him and his family. You think that the Harry Reid, Rahm Emanuel set is going to cry for my family? Show concern about